so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First niggas gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Fall so hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know that those shit fade. And that's to go 0 for 82 when I look at you like this shit gravy. Fall so hard, this shit weird. We ain't need to be here. Fall so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm liable to go Michael. Take the pick, Jackson, Tyson, Jordan. Game 6, fall so hard, got a broke clock. Rollies that don't tick-tock. All the Mars that's losing time. Hidden behind all these big rocks. Fall so hard, I'm shocked too. I'm supposed to be locked up too. You escape, but I escape. You be in Paris getting fucked up too. Fall so hard, let's get faded. Liberties for like 6 days. Gold bottles, skull models. Spilling 8 on my sick days. So fall so hard, bitch behave. Just might let you meet gay. Shot-town, D-Rose, moving the next BK. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack. She said, yeah, can we get married at the mall? I said, look, you need to crawl for your bar. Come and meet me in the bathroom style and show me why you deserve to have it all. Also, that shit crack, that shit crack. Ain't it Jay? Also, what she order? What she order? Fish fillet. Also, your whip so cold, so cold. This whole thing. Also, act like you ever be around motherfuckers like this again. Who's your girl? Grab her hand. Fuck that bitch, she don't wanna dance. She's my friends, but I'm in France. I'm just saying, Prince Williams ain't do it right if you ask me. Cause I was him, I would've married Kate and Ashley. Was Gucci my nigga? Was Louis my killer? Was drugs my dealer? What's that jacket, Margilla? Doctors say I'm the illest, cause I'm suffering from realness. Got my niggas in Paris, and they going gorillas, huh?
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First niggas gotta find me. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First niggas gotta find me. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. First niggas gotta find me. Fall so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. You are now watching the throne. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. These other niggas is lying, acting like the summer ain't mine. I got that hot bitch in my home.
Buenos días. Vamos, let's go. No iba, no le había puesto el micro, cabrón. Vamos. Ojalá la espalda aguante, señores. Vamos a ver. Debería de buscar una posición así un poquito buena. A ver. Let's go. Pam. Esto por aquí fuera. Ojo. ¿Qué juego es, tío? ¿Qué juego dieron en la Epic? Construye tu granja. Va. Ayer fatal. Ayer fatal, sí. Ayer fatal, ni abrí ni nada, ni el ordenador, no hice nada. Ayer fuerísima de todo, ¿eh? Muy fuera, cabrón. Muy fuera, ¿no? Demasiado. Buenas, Marbeik. Ayer fuerísima, tío. Menos mal que ya a la noche me sentí un poquito mejor. Y ya esta noche he podido dormir sin dolor. Sin dolor. Tuve que ir a por el voltador Forte en crema. Full pomadita, cabrón. Full pomada ahí en la espalda. Sí, es jodido. Es una mierda eso. Es una mierda porque encima era como que el dolor no lo localizaba, ¿sabes? No lo tenía localizado, entonces no... Y después ninguna postura servía, ni estar sentado, ni estar tumbado, o sea, ni descansar, nada. Pasé una noche de perro, la del jueves al viernes. Qué noche de perros, tío. Y ya esta noche al menos ha sido buena, así que... Nada, sin forzar y sin nada. Claro, te duele toda esa zona, lo notas como el pinchazo era como cada 2 segundos un pinchazo, ¿sabes? Como un... Sí, tío, como un... ¿sabes? Cada 2 segundos y era insoportable. Pero bueno. Esperemos que estemos bien. Esperemos estar bien. Let's go. ¡Ojo! Vamos a ver un par de vídeos, ¿vale? Claro, eso es lo importante, tío. Estar un poquito mejor. Ojo, vamos a ver este que me parece gracioso así y tal. A ver si está guapo. Vale. A ver si está chulo, tío. Espérate, esto creo que me lo voy a traer aquí. Peo. Pau. Vale, diría que lo tengo. ¡Ojo!
Que la fuerza te acompañe.
Grande, Toy Story, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por la sub. Qué grande. 23 meses. Si es que llevas aquí desde que me dieron el afiliado, ¿no? Al mes, ¿no? Madre mía. Cómo pasa el tiempo, cabrón. Casi 2 años, ¿eh? Casi 2 años. Let's go. Qué grande. Y sí, casi. Sí. Qué locura. Muchas gracias, Toy Story. Let's go. Vamos a ver, estos son snacks, ¿vale? Comparando los americanos con los chilenos, ¿no? Pedro Pascal y Jon Favreau. Vamos a verlo, ¿no? ¿Puede estar bien o qué? Ojito, ¿hay gente que llama a Pedro Pascal Pedro Pascal? Sí, ¿no? Hay gente que es así, ¿no? Esa gente hay que mantenerla alejada. Ok, vemos a Pedro Pascal, ¿vale? También conocido por algunos por Pedro Pascal, ¿ok? Y Jon Favreau. ¡Ojo! Ojo, así desayunamos tranquilitos.
This is Jon Favreau.
And Pedro Pascal.
And this is Snack Wars, Chile versus the U.S.
Something you'll never hear at the World Cup.
It's possible.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Not in the final.
No, probably not. Chile didn't do so well. Cut that. We're doing Chile versus the U.S. because you're a Yankee. Yeah. I'm a Chileno, gringo, according to my enormous family. And
here we go.
Super 8.
Super 8. Lo traducen, sí. Bueno, lo he puesto yo, ¿vale? He puesto los subtítulos que están puestos generados automáticamente, así que seguro que algunas palabras o lo que sea, pues estarán medio aquel, ¿no? Pero bueno, entre lo que se les entiende y tal, más lo que está ahí traducido, pues puede estar bien, ¿no?
8 versus Reese's.
So we're supposed to guess if this is cake or not, or is that a different show?
So this is a very famous.
okay.
This would be like, this is a wafery. It's not even really a chocolate bar.
This is a Reese's. This is the large
like
format. This is the IMAX version of the Reese's.
Se entiende, a ver,
big cup. This is. You've seen these before.
I don't have to.
You've tried it.
I will have some.
Now let's take a look.
But there's no competition for me.
Oh, really? Super 8's that much better?
No, this is my favorite.
Oh, really?
Ojo, prefiere el americano,
We're gonna have a
Pedro?
case of it shipped to you now.
Sorry, Chile.
Are you a fan of the mini version or do you like the IMAX version?
I like the IMAX version because there's more peanut butter.
A little bit of a Kit Kat thing going on here.
¿Está bien el sonido o lo
So
bajo?
I'd say I would go with the Reese's though. I would give Reese's for me to score it.
Reese's beats all for me. We've started too high.
Okay. It's
I don't know where to go but down.
That's good. E.T. was right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
After quarter pounder with cheese.
This one I know what this is. I grew up with these.
A ver, esto
And I haven't had one.
Oh, we're having McDonald's.
el McDonald's contra una empanada, o sea, un poquito chungo, ¿no? Un poquito... Pero bueno.
In the UK, which isn't the same. This whole thing is a fraud.
Oh, wait a minute.
These are empanadas.
Wait a minute. So tell me about this.
This is just meat and caramelized onion and some olives and some delicious, especially if you get it in Chile because the bread there.
Claro.
We've got some dipping sauce for you there in that little, it's
That's
like a
pretty good.
salsa-y, pickly thing.
Yeah.
No, I grew up on these.
I mean, first of
But
all,
I have to say, I think you get the round here.
yeah, first of all, how
Claro, él creció con los McDonald's,
Empanadas
pero
versus the
prefiere la
quarter pounder with
empanada,
cheese,
¿no?
no.
Normal. El
Well-
John Favre, ¿no?
they're very different than empanadas you get in Argentina.
Oh, how's that?
It's the size, the way that they're made, the combination of meat and potatoes and the black olives and onions. And these are good. Where'd you get these?
We actually got them, there's a Chilean restaurant in Paddington.
I'll take
Yeah.
this. Somebody put this in my room.
You learn on a film set never is always like, oh, I get to eat pizza in this scene.
Yeah.
And then by the afternoon, you're.
So I presume that is a point for Chile.
I think so.
Yes.
For Chile.
Lovely. Love
Ojito
it.
Chile
Another quarter
empata.
pounder.
Uno.
It is yummy.
I do like it. Yeah.
Is that your favourite McDonald's burger?
I think so. I think the quarter pounder with cheese definitely is the best of the
Pedro?
bunch.
I'm a fish fillet man myself.
Are
No.
Filet-O-fish.
Filet-O-fish. Is it Filet-O-fish? It's
is.
not even fish fillet.
No,
It's a Filet-O-fish.
Filet-O-fish,
I guess that gave me away.
Ojo.
Mars
Alfajores.
cookies.
This is not from. Is this America?
Is that supposed to be the U.S.?
Oh yes, must be.
Ah, no.
Now what's this?
This is a manjar cookie.
Manjar.
So this is a dulce. So
Oh, wow.
what you would say is dulce de leche, but in Chile it's manjar, and that's the condensed milk. If you boil it for 8 hours,
Ojo.
there's no. You don't have to try the Mars cookies.
This looks like what Baby Yoda was eating. Yeah.
Por lo que
Except
come
it's not
Baby
blue.
Yoda, ¿no?
Oh, man.
Grogu.
It is really nostalgic. It's very sweet. We do sweets very well.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah. It's not too sweet, actually.
You know, the sweets are diabolical in Chile, especially when it comes to manjar. And it's part of everything. You can have it for breakfast. You can spread manjar. It's like you put it on toast. It's in all different forms of pastries and
Oh,
cakes.
wait a minute.
Really?
No. Hold on. No, you got this one.
Es una galleta Mars.
You were different.
Eso no le gana.
No, this one's a winner. This one's almost 2 points.
Yeah.
Se lo come entero, John
2 points,
Favreau.
this gets a negative one.
Oh, now we're talking.
Oh no, you can't do me Five Guys.
Oh yeah.
Five Guys.
We've got a strawberry milkshake from Five Guys.
And a vanilla shake from Chile.
So it's a banana con leche?
That's not a good sign if you said it's vanilla, it's banana.
Yeah, it's banana with leche condensada.
They're both good.
This is the strawberry one.
I gotta go with this one.
This is the strawberry one. It's special. But this is a disqualification because it would be better if we were in Chile.
Claro. De buen comer, John?
There we go.
Oh, peanut butter
Peanut butter and jelly.
versus.
And what do you got?
What is this? Is this palta?
It's avocado.
It's palta.
So it's marraqueta, Con
Maraqueta
palta.
pan
which is a
and
Chile.
palta is pan con palta. This is a breakfast thing, but I suppose that would be or a tea thing.
This is about right. There we go, peanut butter and jelly. And this is for what? This is like a.
This is my
This is your
favorite.
afternoon tea special.
Or breakfast. This is my favorite. You guys are doing well.
What's this bread? Is this a special
This
bread?
is maraqueta. This is really, really good bread. They make great bread in Chile. And you get it fresh, and it's really just a healthy snack. So basically, all you do
Bueno, a John Fabre,
salt and olive
como
oil.
el cabrón,
This one's gonna be tough though, because I gotta say,
Vive la vida,
peanut butter and jelly. I mean, it's not as flashy. It's what I grew up with.
Hijo de puta.
It's really good.
I know, and I would go for that more just because of my childhood.
There's no comparison for me. I mean, and that's okay.
I'll give you. You know what? I'll give you this one because it's not
No.
that. No, because I think that is probably better quality. I'm very impressed though with the Chilean food. I've never had any of that. I mean, it was great, except empanada. I've had.
We've got good snacks, you know, and I underestimate how good the snacks are.
Awesome. Nice.
Can we
Cool.
send this to my room again, please?
Chile one.
Yeah! Viva Chile!
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Chile and the U.S. has finally amended their relationship. It's too bad it's not UK snacks, because I love how people in the UK think that they have good snacks.
I'm Australian, so I'm
Shots
not gonna comment.
fired!
What's your stance on Marmite?
Huh?
Stance on Marmite.
I mean, listen to how it sounds.
Marmite. It's not glamorous.
This kitchen's a bloody disaster. This is not cooking.
Ojo.
Oh my God.
Oscar, ahí está.
You call this
calienta?
ratatouille?
Se calentaba Oscar ahí, ¿no? Se calentaba el cabrón, ¿eh? Madre que lo parió, ¿no? Con Ethan Hawke. Se calentaba, ¿eh? Se calentaba. Me apetece ver esto también. Ah, o sea, aquí no... Ah, mira. Vale. Le damos, ¿no? Y lo que salga. Lo que salga. ¡Ojo! Le damos. Estaba ahí, sí. Y el hijo puta, el Pedro Pascal, tiene razón, ¿eh? Cuando ha dicho lo de los snacks de Reino Unido, de Inglaterra, ya me dirás tú, ¿no? Buenas, Aaron Napi. Ya me dirán, ¿no? Y le ha dicho la otra, no, yo soy australiana, ¿sabes? Me la pela. Me la pela. ¡Ojo!
Hey there, everyone. How's it going? So I've been
¿Vale?
thinking of doing this for a little while now.
Me apetece verlo.
And I was like, all right, well, now's the time. I got a new camera.
Creo que era este, es que no lo sé. No, ni me los he visto enteros ni nada, ¿vale?
Room tour. So, I mean,
pero había uno que me gustaba unos cuadros que tenía y tal, o sea, pueden ser buenas ideas.
And every single one of them are different, and every single one of them have been different in collection.
Vale, esto es la intro, tal.
It's not something I've hidden. It's something I've shown quite a bit.
Claro, es que mira esos cuadros, ¿eh? Hay cuadros que están guapos, tío. Luego ya todo lo demás, una fumada.
Not even just accumulating all of my items, but also building displays
tiene cositas, ¿no?
Models, and also a lot of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the relationships that I have formed over the years. You know, with guys overseas.
Creo que era otro, el de los cuadros.
Who collect the same
Luego lo
things,
buscamos.
and guys who,
Vemos un poquito.
selling
Ojo,
things.
aquí ha mezclado Marvel, ¿no?
And,
aquí ha mezclado Marvel.
It's been a lot of fun, and so I guess we'll just kind of like start from one end and
¿Eso eran
go
hot
through
toys?
a little bit,
Puede ser,
not
¿no?
too detailed, you know.
¿Son hot
just
toys?
Go a little bit into what this how this has formed. So you got your Novos, and like, I mean, most of these pieces are pretty recognizable. That one is special to me.
La estantería de las minitas,
my
¿no?
wife bought it for me, you know, so.
Estantería de las muchachas.
It's actually.
Mi esposa me lo compró,
very,
dice, ¿eh? Bueno. Yo moriría por esa colección, ya, tío.
And like most of my
cascos,
collection,
cuidado,
I don't sell.
Cuidado.
I really don't. If I don't have to, a lot of these I've had since, they first came out, like. Right now, let's just say the value of, if you were to buy one of these,
hay cositas que a lo mejor dices, joder,
eBay,
todo no. A ver, si tienes mucho dinero, lo que sea, te da igual tenerlo todo o lo que sea, pero sí, los cascos, algunas...
how I've accumulated
alguna
some
nave,
stuff over
alguna
the
cosita
years.
así, cuidado,
And you know, it's so this is an overall of this area. It's my Star Wars hot toy area.
Hot toys. Sí lo son, sí lo son.
I
Hot
like Boba
toys.
Fett. So I've pretty much gotten my collection.
Los muñecos
to a lot
calientes,
I have all
cabrón.
the Boba Fett.
Guau, qué guapo,
hot
¿eh?
toys.
Ojo. Qué puta locura, ¿eh? Lo que pasa, los hot toys, tío, son muy caros. Son muy caros. Es que este a lo mejor de Mandalorian, ¿qué te cuesta? ¿300? $300, 400, una cosita así, o ya están, son God, ¿eh? Sí, sí, son la polla. Son la polla, pero son caros, ¿eh? A ver, depende, algunos depende. Pero yo creo que eso, ¿no? Unos $300 a lo mejor te cuesta este. Por ahí más o menos, ¿no?
I
Sí.
probably will never get rid of them. Some of these I bought from friends. Some of them I bought from other collectors. Some of them I bought from Hot Toys Sideshow itself, right? So I love Snowtroopers. They're one of my favorites, and you know, that's the 2-pack and the single pack. I just freaking love them. I always have. I always will. As you'll see, I have a life-size one. This one's special to me because I got to know a collector just from buying a bunch of Hot Toys from, and we used to meet in the parking lot and talk about, just stand there and talk about
La pelota
collectibles.
esta de aquí
He was moving away, and he's like,
de
hey,
rugby,
I have something I
de
want to give
fútbol
you.
americano, ya me
And it
dirás
was an
tú, ¿no?
EFX Stormtrooper helmet. I'm like, really? So I'm like, dude, seriously, you want something for this? He's like, no. I just really enjoyed our talks and really
no
enjoyed
pinta nada ahí.
coming and hanging out with you. So, you know, that holds us
Vale.
more Boba Fett, of course. More
Qué
Boba
guapo, tío. De la serie Droid.
More Boba Fett.
Qué guapo, qué guapo.
Fett, of course. More.
Ojo. Lo malo que se ve es súper de esto, ¿no? Pero es de la serie Droid, ¿eh? Qué guapo, tío. Ah, pero esto es nuevo a lo mejor, ¿eh? Sí, es nuevo, es nuevo. Porque tiene los 50, ¿no? El aniversario de Lucasfilm. Ojo. ¿Pero ya han pasado 50 años? No. ¿O sí? Ojo. ¿El 50 aniversario de Lucasfilm? ¿Como incompleto? Este dibujo Renecor. ¿O el qué? Pues a saber, ¿no? Lo malo es eso, que tiene la luz muy brillante y no se ve bien. Pero sí, parece como transparente, ¿a que sí? Sí, es verdad, ¿eh? Parece igual. Como hecho así, pues no sé. A saber. A saber. Como son los trazos grises, pues a saber.
More Boba Fett. More Boba Fett.
Más Boba
And these
Fett.
hilts are the Disney hilts. They are the hilts. They're actually my son's Disney hilts. They bought those in Disney. So then you got the katana.
Una katana.
This.
Oh. Este está guapo, ¿eh? El Salasius. Sí,
He's
era la luz
gorgeous.
también, Pascuero.
He's
Sí,
so well
estaba ahí.
done. So beautifully done. You
Ojos
guys don't read a
Salasius,
robot. How? I mean, like seriously, look at that face. Look at the detail.
Look at the face. Detail.
He looks like he could talk
Ojo,
at any
el
second.
detalle.
You know,
todo,
like
¿eh?
just
Está guapo.
and look at the rock that he comes, the stand that he comes on. It looks like, I mean, it looks like real rock, but it's not. One of my favorite things about Salacious here is how he looks like a puppet.
Salasius lo ha
He looks like you could
traducido
put your
como
hand into
lascivo,
him,
¿no?
and you can use him as a puppet and talk. One of the other favorite things about this
Ojo,
is,
puedes
I don't know if you can see it
usarlo
very
de
well on here,
Muppet,
but you
¿no?
can
De
see
marioneta, ¿o qué?
his
guapo.
spine, like the bumps of his spine are just
Uh,
you can feel
Está
it
guapo,
and
está
see the
guapo, está
ribs in there.
Está guapo.
I can't say enough about how
Bueno, las costillas,
well
¿no,
this is
cabrón?
done. Tom and his crew did an amazing job.
Ha dicho de ribs que son costillas, ¿no? Pero serán las vértebras o se le llama a las vértebras también costillas. Se le llama ribs. No creo, ¿no? A saber. No lo sé.
I actually very privileged to have been able to go up to his shop and pick it up and see his wonderful shop and meet all of his, a lot of his crew. So let's stick to the Hot Toys. We'll get to the models then.
Vale, de Marvel por la
So
cara.
I love Marvel. I love Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, qué guapo, ¿no? Qué guapo el Stan Lee, tío. Mira el Stan Lee, ¿eh? Con el martillo, cabrón. Guau, estos son una locura. Tú mira las caras también, ¿eh? Son automáticos los subtítulos, sí, Renecor, sí.
Or a lot of these my wife bought for me. I'd never sell them. I have them prominently displayed, even though this is mostly a Star Wars room. Mostly. I love them. Infinity War, that era of Marvel.
Los ama, ¿eh?
Exceptionally awesome.
Sí, ¿verdad? Han mejorado y bastante,
I went
tío.
to the movies with my sons. Took my sons to each and every movie.
Es verdad, ¿eh? Que al
They grew
principio
up loving these
salieron...
movies.
Que lo vendían muy caro, pero... alguna calidad, alguna cosita estaba un poquito pepega, ¿eh?
You know, when I add more, this piece for my brother. I didn't like that character in the first Iron Man, but when he was in
Estos hot toys, ¿cuánto pueden costar? ¿Cuánto pueden costar?
So yeah. And
200.
Also, I have 3 rockets.
150, 200.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy and Rocket.
Qué guapo, tío. Mira el Groot metido en la jaulita,
And
¿eh?
then Thor Ragnarok. One of my
Entre
favorite
300 y
Marvel
500.
movies.
No, bueno, no lo sé, ¿eh? No creo, ¿no?
So also, just so I don't know
no
if you
sé.
can see on here.
A saber.
I have all of these LEDs wired in the wall with low voltage wiring because I'm an electrician.
Guau, qué guapo.
That if I turn off Alexa, turn off basement. Alexa, turn on night lights.
Ojo, Alexa.
They come on when
Qué guapo.
they have their own circuit. Well, there's like the Iron Man I have to
Hijo de puta.
wire up, but you could see it a lot over here.
Espera, a ver. Magia, ¿no? Es un viejo brujo este, ¿no?
Alexa,
A ver.
Alexa, turn off basement.
Ok.
Alexa, turn on night lights. They come on when
No sé si lo he entendido bien en el inglés, ¿no? Le ha dicho que apague las luces del sótano, ¿verdad? Ha apagado todo y después le ha dicho que encienda las luces nocturnas, ¿no? O algo así, y ya se han encendido la de los muñecos, ¿no? No entiendo.
they have their own circuit.
Es un viejo
Well, there's
brujo, ¿eh?
like the
Con
Iron Man
magia.
I have to wire up, but you could see it a lot over here with
Mamá, mira. Qué guapo,
Shaq-Ti.
cabrón. Se lo goza él, ¿eh? En su habitación se lo goza, ¿eh?
And over there we'll get to that statue then. Alexa, turn on basement.
En el sótano.
So, also another Regal Robot piece. This was, as you can see,
guapo.
I'm a vintage collector as well. This was an art piece drawn by a guy over in England named Barry Jones.
Estos son Forlom y Zucus. ¿No? Forlom y Sucus. El Suka. Qué guapo, tío. Es súper random esto, tener este cuadro. Primero que está guapo. Pero tener a Forlom y a Sucus es como, joder, te mola Star Wars, ¿no?
Whatever you want, like faces. But at one point he was doing vintage figures, and I asked him to do Forlom and Zuckuss, which are some of my favorite action figures. And,
son sus
it's
figuras
just turned out
favoritas,
beautiful. Like it's all sepia and.
Claro, estos
I'll
dos
show my
le
artwork. I have that up on
encantan.
a different level,
Estos dos personajes.
different steps.
Están guapos, tío.
So I guess we'll get into another Regal robot. Let's stick with Regal robot for now.
Mira ese Chewie.
What can you say? I mean, Chewbacca, freaking amazing Chewbacca, and
Son dos cazas recompensas, Aarón. El del dibujo, sí, son cazas recompensas. Forlom y Zucus. Son como una pareja. Uno es como un droide, cazas recompensas. Y sí, están guapos. Son personajes muy, muy guapos.
the Rancor. Oh, just beautiful. Just gorgeous. I mean, look at those
Mira la baba,
eyes.
Mira la baba, cabrón.
This one had the Chewbacca had a funny story actually. I took my kids with me to Regal Robot to see his shop and pick up Chewbacca, and the Weekend at Bernie's movie came to mind. So we said we had Chewbacca driving home with us in the middle. You know, I actually have a picture of it. I'll have to post that on here, put it in the corner so you can see what I'm talking about. It was a great trip with my sons and something I'll remember. A lot of this stuff has meaning. A lot of this stuff has
fue con
sentimental
sus
value
niños,
to
¿no?
me.
A recoger a Chewbacca y todo el rollo, ¿no?
Like this.
Hay
Okay,
ahí
this
como una
is,
historia, ¿no?
RS prop masters.
Ganas de peinar a
You know,
Chewbacca.
most of you know what this is. But it also is
Sí,
a
Renekor,
Rogue
están guapos,
exclusive.
están guapos, tío.
Rob came to us and was like, hey, let's do this. I'm like, hell
La verdad que
yeah.
están muy
This
guapos
is-
esos
this is-
personajes.
That's a awesome piece and one that's important to me, you know. I've had that for a while. Tie Bust.
Son
from
cazas
RS. I
recompensas,
love
siempre van
RS
con
Prop
Bosk,
Busts. They're just
colaboran
amazing.
también con
So,
Boba
another
Fett,
fun
todo
thing
rollo,
over
o
here
sea,
is
está guapo.
my son's first lightsabers. Those are important to me. I'll put a picture up as why, because it's just,
Son
I love this
de
picture. It's on my
peluche,
nightstand.
¿no? De goma espuma o de esponjita, ¿no?
And then my sons recreated it for me later on for Father's Day.
Ajá.
It actually choked me up and made me
Ojito, ¿no?
Maybe
De cuando
tear
chiquititos
up
a
because it meant that much to me.
adolescentes.
So we'll get into the helmets.
Han pasado de
Get into the
pequeñines a
helmet
teenagers,
shells.
¿no?
I'll give you an overall.
Los cascos son la polla,
Turn
tío.
down the brightness. It's a little dark. It's a little bright.
A mí lo que me gustaría tener alguno de estos de piloto. Algunos de piloto. Qué guapo. Pero, mira este aquí de Rex. Este de aquí, ¿eh? Qué guapo, cabrón. De los clones también. Es que hay algunos muy, muy guapos, ¿eh? Pero estos sí que son una pasta también. Mínimo 150 euros, ¿no?
There we go.
Sí, los clones, ¿sabes?
There we go. There we go. I'm learning how to use this camera.
El de Vader, tío.
What can you say about
Con
RS
Trooper.
helmets? I mean, they're just stunning. Like that's my hero, Stormtrooper. And to be honest, when I first wanted a Stormtrooper helmet, I wanted a hero.
Siempre
I didn't
quiso, ¿eh?
want one that had like bumps and drips and stuff like that. But now that I've educated myself a little bit and I've come to realize how special they are,
Ya, sí, sí.
HTP
Parece
is
poco, ¿eh?
just. I mean, you can't
Claro,
see
a
it
ver,
here, maybe if
depende
I go
de
close,
cómo
you
sea,
can
si
see,
la
like, the
réplica, los detalles, todo, pero
drips
sí, yo
and
creo que
chips
mínimo
and how it's
unos
made
150
and how
euros.
it's supposed to look like the real
El mínimo.
prop. Maybe on an angle you can see. Just that. I love it.
Y
It's amazing.
depende, ¿eh? Que a lo mejor el de Vader
No,
te
no.
cuesta 300, 400.
Now these are
A saber.
Novos. These are Novos, and I started collecting helmets with the Novos. And they're great. They're just heavy and they're.
Son novos.
But I would absolutely 100% prefer to have an RS Prop Master helmet over a Novos helmet. Case in point, so here we got the pilot shelf, and the beautiful Y-wing helmet. I wanted one of those ever since I saw them and was lucky enough to actually get one.
Son una pasta, sí, es mucho dinero, tío. Mucho
More
dinero.
pilots. I'd buy all the pilots if I had the room, in all honesty. And this one here, this General Merrick helmet was a special one because it was supposed to be it ended up being a Christmas gift from RS to the guys and I helped facilitate it happening. And if you look, you can see right there that says Rogue One 6 in oh god, why am I spacing on the language? The Star Wars alphabet.
Un alfabeto de Star
Come
Wars.
to me later when I'm not on camera. So yeah, that's a special one for us. The four of us have one.
¿Cómo se llama? Aurebes.
Besides the fact that it's an awesome looking helmet.
Sí, no habla de precios, no parece que no lo dice. No sé si ahora dirá algo, pero
my Rogue One helmets, mostly Novos, some are custom. They're beautiful. Okay, down here.
Al menos aquí expuesto no tiene ninguno de los pilotos de la rebelión, ¿sabes? Ese casco está guapo, tío.
In painting helmets before I started painting, before I did models. So it was something that just got me started on painting. DAC helmet and Nissan Rogue One Range Trooper helmet. Oh, I love that helmet. I wish they'd come out with a hot toy or a statue or something of him. One of my favorite designs in Star Wars.
Eso está guapo, Aarón, porque also, en las películas y tal
the Death Star walls
siempre viene escrito en ese idioma, entonces al menos vas a saber, ¿sabes? Lo que pone. Hay muchos detallitos que están escritos en el idioma de Star Wars.
Death Star walls. He helped me build the entire thing every day, helping me.
Están escritos ahí en ese idioma y es la polla.
That means a lot because
si sabes leerlo así un poquito,
time with my dad.
Está guapo.
You know, Dad's not gonna be around forever.
Yo no tengo ni puta idea,
ni puta idea. I loved every minute I spent with him. More Boba Fett. Novos, not Novos. Mythos Boba Fett. I'm not a huge statue collector.
Es Mythos, como el Obi-Wan. Como el Obi-Wan. La de Obi-Wan de Mythos, eso sí que es Dios, ¿eh? Eso sí que es Dios, tío. Está guapísimo.
I've had a bunch, but I ended up getting rid of a lot of them. I don't know. There's only certain ones that I absolutely have to have. And, you know, so Boba Fett, RS helmet. Freaking gorgeous. I mean, I hope you can see the details on it. I know there's a better camera, but you get to see some of the. Let's turn down the brightness so you can see a little bit better.
Hay que ver Boba Fett, como es un personaje que a todo el mundo nos gusta, tío. A todos nos gusta Boba Fett,
Bar none.
Tiene algo, tío. Tiene algo.
Look at that.
Es el personaje favorito de todo el mundo. Si no es tu favorito, es el top 5 o top 10.
It's one of the top pieces in my collection.
Ojo Ventres.
More statues. I love the Gamorrean Guard Mythos. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. This is a special item to me. It was sent to me by a viewer. He's like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, yeah, but I don't really have the money for it right now. I was like, no, don't worry about it. Just I want it to be displayed in a good collection. I'm like, dude, I can't just take this for free. He's like, no, it's yours. Have it. And then I won this.
Se lo dieron gratis.
The hyperdrive, the cheese grater, Imperial Naval Officer.
Guau, toda esta colección a saber,
It's a special piece to me as well. Like I said, most of my pieces have some meaning.
Y todavía no hemos visto, que todavía quedan. Mira lo que tiene ahí detrás y todo rollo. O sea, es que.
RS Snowtrooper.
Mira este, le faltan las manos, ¿no?
Full-sized Snowtrooper. I cut up the mannequin. I have to finish the hands, though. I have to finish the hands with the gun. I have them sitting at the bottom there, so.
150.000 de momento hasta lo que hemos visto puede ser. Puede ser.
Hopefully I'll do that one of these
Puede
days. We'll
ser.
see. Grievous Sideshow. All right. So back in 2005, I think, I went to Celebration 3. And I had never bought a statue before. And I saw this. And I said to myself, holy crap. I will never be able to afford that.
Sí, seguro que lo tienes
I've got to have
asegurado.
that one day.
Segurísimo.
Fast forward a couple years, I was able to pick it up. And I've had it since then, probably since 2006 or 7. And very delicate, very
¿Habéis visto vosotros el vídeo de
awesome. I just
del
remember
tío de
thinking,
Rancho
look, seeing it
Skywalker,
behind the
el que
glass
tiene el
case, I'm
récord
thinking, God,
Guinness?
I've got to have that one day.
Si no lo habéis visto, lo que sea y tal, podemos verlo también. Ese tío
Iron
es...
Studios Vader.
Ese tío es el mayor coleccionista de Star
I
Wars.
guess we should get into the elephant in the room.
Y además colecciona de
vintage
todos los
collection.
países, ¿sabes? Tiene cosas de España, tiene cosas de
So
Japón,
where do I
de
begin
Latinoamérica, tiene de todo.
They're all sealed.
Y tiene récord
They're all
Guinness.
original.
Es muy
Well, okay,
famoso
I take
ese
that.
tío, la verdad. Muy famoso.
99.9% of them are original.
Está en un sótano, sí.
I'll describe those later. But most of these, I used to work at a comic store when I was younger, in my 20s, and people would come in
¿No has
and
visto ese?
they would
Pues, ahora
ask
lo
us if
vemos.
we wanted to buy them.
Ahora lo vemos.
And we'd say, sure, just buy them.
Vale, vamos a ir pasando, pues si se para aquí en el muro.
They will never,
Oh,
ever,
Estas son
ever
antiguas, ¿eh?
leave my collection. Here, I'm going to turn off the Death
Son
Star
antiguas.
tile so
Ahora
you can see
también
it
pueden
better.
ser como nueva colección de Kenner, que las saque vintage, mucho más vintage.
Okay.
Puede ser.
You can see them better without the Death Star walls in the background.
Pues yo, por ejemplo, este lo tengo. Este lo tengo, de Kenner, pero es nueva colección. Lo que pasa es que te lo dan así en vintage, ¿sabes? Lo tengo ahí atrás. Pero sí, es nueva colección.
Yep.
Compáralo. Nada, pero si será... es igual, creo. Es igual. Voy a pillarlo. Ah, pero sí. En este pone retro. Pone lo de retro y tal. ¿No ves? Y es como el cartoncito y todo el rollo, es como que está cascado, ¿sabes? Como que está cascado. Pero sí, pone retro. No es lo mismo, así que ese a lo mejor es original. ¿Eh? A saber. Sí. A saber. Mirad qué guapo esto, ¿eh? Las típicas cajitas estas de la merienda, ¿no? Americana, esta me la compré en Nueva York. Cuando estuve en Nueva York lo compré, tío, me flipó. ¿Sabéis cuánto me costó esto? $1. $1. Está guapísimo, tío. Está súper guapo, ¿eh? Las cajitas típicas. Americanas. Una ganga, Reneca. Una ganga. Súper retro, ¿eh? Sí, muy retro, todo rollo. Las tenían ahí como a $1 o algo así, que estaban terminando. Era en un Toys R Us, creo. Allí en Manhattan, y sí. Lo pillé. Dije, $1, puta, qué ofertón, deme 3. Sí, lo pillé. Anda que no. Anda que
Better
no.
without the Death Star walls in the background. Yep. My goal was to have every carded figure on their debut card. So, like, you know, Hammerhead, I wanted on the Star Wars card, not an Empire card. You know, it's just been years. Okay, so here's where the
Ojo.
.0.
El camarero de la cantina, cabrón. Es el camarero de la cantina, ¿no? ¿Es el de la cantina? Sí. Sí. Lo que pasa es que salía también en el Holiday Special, ¿no? Aquel del 78, así, que era un especial navideño.
0.9% coming.
No es loco eso.
I like these figures from. I wanted to Hasbro to continue the line, and they never did. So I took some of my favorite figures and had custom cards made on, for certain ones that were never.
¿Cómo? ¡Ojo! Como Hasbro no continuó haciendo figuras, él ha hecho los cartoncitos y tal. O sea, es como una réplica esto de aquí. Se la ha hecho él. Es la polla. Si esa de ahí se la ha hecho él, en plan, él compró el muñeco y a lo mejor lo tenía, no tenía la caja, lo que sea, ya ha hecho una caja de Kenner.
Continue the line, and they never did. So I took some of my favorite figures and had custom cards made on.
Claro, hice las tarjetas personalizadas.
Were never actually carded. So like right there, like the Cloud Car Pilot's real. The K3PO is of custom card. I only have a couple of them. I actually have a lot of like Rogue One, and a few others figures that I really liked that I've always wanted them to do vintage cards on. And they never did. So
vale.
So like I don't have the other one of that yet. There's one.
Vale, pasamos esto, pero eso. Ah, mira, aquí está.
Because I mean,
Míralo.
Forlom is a droid name. Zuckuss is a being name, so you could tell they got mixed up, ¿no? And then they corrected it later on.
¿Se han equivocado o se ha equivocado él? No me jodas que se ha equivocado él. No puede ser. Pero sí, están equivocados. Forlom es este. Este es Forlom y este es Zuckuss, ¿vale? O sea, los nombres están cambiados. Estos son los dos cazarrecompensas.
Zuckuss and Forlom to me. The next thing are Zuckuss and Forlom Revenge of the Jedi proofs. So these were made when Jedi was starting to be formed, okay? And it turns out that George Lucas changed the name after they already built up a lot of their promotional items.
Ah, amigo, vale. Eso. Vale. Ellos. Sí. Claro, es lo que está diciendo ahora, ¿no? Después de la película, porque estos salen como en el fondo, en el Imperio Contraataca, son los cazarrecompensas que contrata Darth Vader. Los trolearon, no. Claro, no tenían ni puta idea, en verdad. Entonces, George Lucas tendría los nombres en plan Zuckuss y Forlom. Y esta peña, para hacer muñecos y para hacerla todo, dijeron, pues venga, va, del tirón. Y luego ya se cambió. Ok. También te digo, esto es de Retorno del Jedi, ¿eh? O sea, ya deberían de tenerlo más claro, ¿no? Pero, sí.
So they never made it with figures on the card. They just were supposed to be destroyed, but a lot of them got out and into the public. And for a long time, they weren't valuable, and people were just handing them to each other. But then people became wise to how incredibly important they are, and now they are a little expensive.
Okay.
When Anakin, they're a little bit out of my price range. But packaging.
Ojo.
So love.
Espérate.
The Slave One. I love.
Ay, hijo de puta.
For some reason, they just seem to have a personality. They just seem to be. They meant more to me than even the characters.
Pasta,
Luke and
también,
Leia.
Las naves son muy caras.
The Slave One. I love the Falcon. I mean, the AT-AT. I mean, it's just they're incredibly iconic and just so loved.
Ojito la Villa Ewok.
And I owned a lot of these as kids and played with them and beat the crap out of them, and never ever thought to keep them in package. But then once I started getting a little older, I'm like, oh, I love the packaging. I gotta get them. So I started.
Qué guapo, mira la Razor.
30 years. So I started.
Mira aquí la Razor, Mama. Las naves, sí, de los muñecos y tal, es de lo más caro. Y luego, por ejemplo, encontrar a Jabba el Hutt, a Jabba the Hutt, imposible. Jabba the Hutt de los más caros. Sobre todo si es colección normal y corriente. Ahora, si te quieres ir a el muñeco más caro, lo que sea, era un Jaguar. Había un Jaguar que tenía... Me parece que tenía el traje de vinilo. Y ese es imposible de encontrar, como quien dice, y cuesta un pastón. Pero de lo normal. Tú vas y te compras un muñeco o lo que sea, te cuesta 12, 15, 20 euros o dólares, como quieras. Pero las naves sí son más caras. Pero el Jaguar ese, con el traje de vinilo, que fue de las primeras colecciones que salieron, mama.
I don't have nearly as much as I used to.
Es un bastón.
Okay, so remember we were talking about the Revenge of the Jedi proof. So I actually have a Revenge of the Jedi proof for this Falcon. I bought it a long time ago, about a year or so ago, and it is truly my grail. I don't have it on display yet because I have to send it out. I want to get it graded and encased in acrylic because they're pretty delicate, so I don't take it out very much. One of these days I'll actually get to do that. It's been a year. I should have did it a long time ago, but I didn't. But I will. Models. My newest obsession. Models. Star Wars ship models. They are what I eat, sleep, and breathe right now. It's exact. I mean, just my wife's tired of hearing about it. She's tired of me working on them. Some of them I built, some of them I bought. This X-wing I built. Built and painted. And didn't think I would want an X-wing, to be honest. I don't know why it never appealed to me. But after building it and seeing all the different colors and chipping, and it's amazing. I love it. I wouldn't want to build another one though. It was a lot more work than I thought it would be. Just the layering, because like you have brown and red and green and not green, blue, and then like different layers. You can see. And Slave One. I built this Slave One. It's a nice and kit. It lights up. Is it lit up? Nope. I'll have to turn it on. Built this, the nice and kit. This is actually the second model that I built. So I'm pretty proud of it.
¿También lo hizo él?
A lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of blood, actually, from cutting my fingers.
Sangre, sudor y lágrimas, dice. Sí.
You can see the back with all the details of all the kit parts.
Qué guapo, tío. ¿Hay algo que este hombre no haga bien? Es posible.
I could spend all day just looking at the kit parts.
Tiene una fortuna aquí.
Those engines light up. I'll show you that later.
Es una locura.
Turn it on.
Si esto lo ha hecho él, supongo que con...
My first model. Let's turn it on.
Con una impresora 3D, a lo mejor, o lo que sea. Que no sé cómo habrá conseguido las partes o cómo lo ha hecho.
They go on with a switch.
¡Oh, qué cabrón! ¡Qué cabrón! Mira las luces que tiene, como de la Estrella de la Muerte. ¿Lo veis aquí? Justo en mi cámara. Acaba de encender las luces como de la Estrella de la Muerte. Míralo, ¿eh? A ver.
They go on with a switch.
¡Qué hijo de puta!
So inside is fiber optics that blink.
Ay, se enciende la nave con fibra óptica. Pero, este tío está loco.
And on the back,
¡Qué locura! ¿Cuánto puede costar esto?
the engine's
Porque es
like-
único. Si lo ha hecho él,
See it
que
back,
parece que
back,
sí, pero lo
back.
está diciendo y tal, es único.
Wish you could
O
see
sea, lo
that.
puede vender como al precio
The way
que
it
le
lights
salga de
up.
la polla ahora.
Let's see if
Ya
I
que te
turn
lo
it down a
compren.
bit.
Pero sí.
Nope, other way.
Una pieza
Nope,
única.
that ain't gonna work.
3.000, bueno. Lo
All
que,
right, so
lo
you
que
can see
pida,
some
¿no?
of this now.
15.000. Lo que pida.
All
Ya después que te pague.
fiber optics. Ran fiber optics through for the cockpit. Some of them blink, some of them don't. Again, electrician, so I could do these things. And this baby, first model ever built, the DiAgostini. Very good model for somebody
Sí,
to build
pero hay
the first
gente
time.
que lo compra, ¿eh? Hay gente que lo compra.
Is laid out for, it's like step by step. Paint job you gotta learn how to do, but for the building of it, it's pretty.
Si lo vende
Well
sus
done.
$5.000, $6.000, se lo compran.
See how those fans look like they're turning when you go around across the cool shade? I love that. And the pieces there. I think my lighting in my room is a little too harsh sometimes, a little too bright, a little too.
Y demasiado
dimmer, but
brillante, ¿no?
sometimes.
Sí.
So then I built these rocks. They're actually just foam painted. So they look like asteroids. And this I just got
No.
off a rug from wonderful Paul over at RS. He sent
Una
me, no, not
alfombra
Paul, sorry,
wampa, ¿no?
Andrew Clark.
Qué guapo,
Not
wampa.
Paul. Sorry, Andy.
Carpet,
Sorry,
¿no?
Andrew.
Se dice.
He got me that for Christmas. And we'll start up the Falcon.
Qué guapo,
Start it
cabrón.
up. There it goes. Special LEDs to run it. It's you can't really see it pulsing, but it's supposed to pulse like. Oh yeah, you can see it. It pulses like it's flying.
Qué guapo, tío.
Yeah, pretty cool. Love it.
Muy chulo,
My
muy chulo, tío.
second.
Luego el cabrón,
My
el
second,
detalle de las luces en la pared, tío. Mira el
model I ever
Sandcrawler, guapísimo.
Is a sandcrawler. I've actually built 2. I'm probably gonna build a couple more for people. Just recently decided to start doing some commissions regularly.
También lo ha hecho él.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up doing a couple sandcrawlers. If you're interested, let me know. This was a lot of fun. I love doing that.
Pero claro, mi duda está en si lo ha hecho él, como he dicho, con a lo mejor pillando las piezas, haciéndola por 3D, impresora 3D y las vas haciendo, ¿no? O es una maqueta que ya ha comprado y después sí, él a lo mejor le ha metido luces, a lo mejor ha tenido que pintarla y tal, pero lo que es la maqueta ya existe. Es que eso no lo sé. No sé si la ha dicho, no me queda claro. Que igualmente hacerlo y todo rollo es un fumadón. Igual que te venga la maqueta, ¿no? Pero...
This was a great model to build. Love painting it. There's LEDs. There's fiber optics inside there as well. And there's also, I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, pero qué cojones. Y yo, mira el interior, qué guapo, cabrón. Sí, Pascuero me da a mí también, ¿no?
CZ3 in there. You'd have to zoom in on it, but there's a little
Qué
figure of
locura el
CZ3 in
interior,
there.
cabrón. Qué locura el
I
interior.
just wanted
¿Cuánto
to
puede
have a
costar
droid in
esto?
there. You can maybe see him there a
Bastón.
little bit. There he is. And he even has holes drilled into his feet, so he looks like a vintage figure.
De 3 a 5K, ¿no? Mínimo.
Okay. This I could go on for hours about. This is a special piece to me from my friend John Simmons, who built this, and I pried it out of his hands because I needed to have it. And
Se la ha robado a su amigo.
I actually literally pried it out of his cat's hands.
Se lo sacó.
So,
¿Cómo? Un
the
gato
detail
atacándolo.
on this is insane. It's freaking crazy. And I wish you could see it a little better. Let's turn up the lighting again.
La puta torreta es un ladrón. La puta torreta de la Estrella de la Muerte.
Good camera.
Tú mira qué guapo.
Hopefully it tapes good. Hopefully it looks as good as it's taping. But I love this thing. These are adjustable. They go up and down. It spins, rotates.
Qué locura, tío.
I wanted this since I first looked at John's. First time I ever looked at John's Facebook page. I thought, oh my God, this thing is absolutely beautiful. And getting it in person, it's even more beautiful. Plus the fact that I have recently just become very good friends with John, and it makes it even more special because our friendship has grown over the last year or so because of, you know, us talking about models and me buying pieces from him, and I have a couple pieces from him as well over there on the shelf. We'll get to them then. But yeah, these are my model setup. Now even this is going to change because I'm running out of room. I need to add more room. So I think I'm going to do something in the middle, build some shelves that'll look sort of like that, but all the way across, so I have more room for them. One more shelf of models. So these are from Jason Eaton. His talent in making models, incredible
Así
things that
podemos
he's done
pasarla,
over
¿no?
the years.
Un poquito así más de esto.
But
si vemos otra
some fun
cosilla
of
también.
modeling, and I was able
Está
to
guapo,
ID,
esto está guapo, pero
dove into it. He and hospital background ship. I have sort of addiction to background ships, as you'll see. I have 3 of them, and I'm building more. But this one I scratch built from donor kit parts and painted myself.
qué locura, cabrón.
Jason Eaton's
Qué
design
locura,
for
tío.
bases for my own personal.
Es que está guapo porque lo construye él, ¿sabes? Y a lo mejor pide piezas a gente o lo que sea y lo construyen.
And how it displays. This one here is from Lee Ralph. So Lee Ralph is an immaculate builder. Just
wow, este mundo.
He's such clean, precise,
mundo loco,
almost surgical building of model parts. I painted it. I wanted it to look like the Home One Moncal ship, you know, with just a little bit of color, muted underneath, you know, the grays. I'm really happy with that. I love it. Like I said, background ships. I gotta build another base.
Qué locura, tío.
Another
se lo
background
hagan
ship
ellos,
from John
¿sabes?
Simmons. This is the,
no sé.
the Dornian in Return of the Jedi. I mean, this thing, this thing's beautiful. I mean, it's
Qué locura.
awesome. Happened with DT from Solo. Come on. I mean, this was built by John Simmons. Scratch built from about donor kit parts and painted like you wouldn't believe. Come on, focus. The detail on this is unreal. I actually got this and showed it to my son.
Claro. Ahí está. Conlleva tener dinero, conlleva tener tiempo también. Ya no tener tiempo, sino el tiempo que tienes dedicarlo a esto. ¿Sabes? Por eso dice también, me ha costado lágrimas, sudor, tal, mi mujer ya no me deja construir, creo que dijo antes, o como que se cabrea, ¿no? Porque es eso, aunque el tiempo que tiene, dedicarlo a eso. Jodido. Pero
this plaque here is gonna be, I'm going around getting signatures for all the Firefly.
Guapo, ok. Mira.
Artwork. Right. This was made by my neighbor. He laser cut that for me.
Lo ha hecho su vecino.
Great guy. So I guess we can get into some of this artwork.
Y tú su vecino, ¿no? ¿A dónde va? ¿A dónde
own
va?
a lot of prints. I have a few. What I do have, I really enjoy. These are supposed to be Macquarie Boba Fett's in vintage figure style. Really cool. And the holiday special one. And then we have a few art prints there.
Los diferentes Boba Fett basados en los diseños del Ralph McQuarrie, ¿no?
Here we have this was drawn. I used to collect comic art, commissioned comic art, and a guy named Eric Basadula. Loved his artwork. He draws very sexy women. That's his forte. That's what he does. So one year, my wife and I went to Pittsburgh Comic-Con, and I waited in line for 2 hours before he got there, and waited for 2 hours while he drew this, and this is gonna get buried with me. I love it. I mean, how do you not?
Se quiere enterrar con el dibujo, cabrón. Cuando lo entierren, el dibujo estará aquí en su pechito, ¿no?
Mama. I used to really love the X-Men. This is
Mara Jade, ¿no?
Madeline Pryor, drawn by Daniel Govar. Beautiful piece. And another one by Daniel Govar. It's Shakti fighting Rancor. And I also absolutely love Game of Thrones. So I have
más de 5 horas para eso, ¿eh? Cuidado, Twitch.
Drawn by various artists.
Porque es arte.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is my collection room. I hope you enjoyed it.
Sí, hemos disfrutado, la verdad que sí, ¿eh?
A lot.
La verdad que sí,
over the years. It probably will be different tomorrow.
Rogue One.
I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a show before and after, because at one point, this whole wall was all 3 3/4 figures just lined up on there, and ships under. A lot of cool, fun talk about Star Wars, and we do a lot of Star Wars, but we also do other things like Marvel, Batman, studio modeling, found parts.
Mira, vamos a ver el de Record Guinness. No sé cómo no lo habéis visto, la verdad. Bueno, si alguno no lo ha visto, es que lo vemos, lo vemos. Un segundo. Vamos a ir dándole... A ver. Aquí está. Ponemos los subtítulos generados, pero bueno, ponemos subtítulos en español, que algo ayuda. ¿Vale? Lo vemos, ¿no? Este tío tiene récord Guinness, ¿vale? Ah, eso, Rancho Obi-Wan. Rancho Skywalker es el de George Lucas, ¿no? Se llama así su casa, el Rancho Skywalker. Y este tío es el Rancho Obi-Wan Kenobi. Y es un puto museo el cabrón. Es un puto museo. Además se puede visitar y todo rollo. Y sí. Y tiene piezas de colección de todo el mundo. Le suda la polla. Es de Latinoamérica, España, Japón, lo que sea. Cualquier producto de Star Wars se lo pilla, lo compra. Hasta la puerta se ve cara. Es que vas a flipar con las puertas que tiene, ¿eh? Vais a flipar. Ahí está, en Petaluma, California. Mira la puerta, cabrón. Mira la puerta, loco. Ya veréis. Yo me conformaba con tener algún póster de estos, ¿eh? Un cuadro de estos. La verdad. ¡Ojo!
All of the vintage action figures are here, guarded by 575 stormtroopers. These are the boys in the band.
570
musicians, the fifth musicians. That is the original
575 Stormtrooper. Ahí, de base. Increíble. La puerta original. Ojo.
Or to the Mos Eisley Cantina. The Darth Vader costume here is made up of some original pieces that were actually screen used. And the codpiece still has
Pieza original,
the costumer's tag, Berman's and Nathan's.
Pieza original, cabrón.
Bantha Pinata from a Mexico City Star Wars convention in 2004.
Ojo.
I won't let anybody near that with a baseball bat or a lightsaber.
De panza piñata, cabrón. Ojo. En México, ¿eh? En el 2004 lo pilló. De panza piñata. Mira aquí George Lucas, ¿eh? Con 3PO. Nah. Al óleo, pintado al óleo. Mama. Qué puta locura. Qué puta locura.
2004. I won't let anybody near that with a baseball bat or a lightsaber. Hun in carbonite and Boba Fett, and this is a one-of-a-kind treasure.
Ooh.
The Empire Strikes Bike.
¡Oh, qué guapo! ¡Qué guapo! Es como una TAT, ¿eh? Es una TAT.
We have a Wampa costume. This was made by the ILM Model Shop, and it's a cut-off battle droid backpack. Snow from the Wampa Cave for the Empire Strikes Back Special Edition. This was
Piezas originales, ¿eh?
Rifle of
Brutal.
Boba Fett. Duro's hands that are still attached. Somehow I ended up with the crotch piece for a bounty hunter, and this is a used C-3PO costume hand. Heavy vinyl, very difficult. It's gotten much stiffer over the years. And a piece of the Millennium Falcon that was built for The Empire Strikes Back. And then Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, walked through the scrap heap and picked up 10 different pieces and gave them names like Reverse Power Flux Coupling Cover, and put them in acrylic cases and sold them to ridiculous collectors.
Mama.
Like me.
Sí, sí, como tú. Ojo, ojo todo lo que tiene aquí. Mira, un George.
Toast to the creator, George Lucas. These are my original Star Wars figures that I first bought when they were available in 1978. I opened them all.
La original, ¿eh?
My Darth Vader has gotten a little weight in the face. Since replaced them all
Era suya, ¿no? Era suya.
They were so desperate to get products
Sí,
out
sí,
there,
es la polla.
they took
Está
a
loco.
$6 million man headset radio and turned it into the Luke Skywalker one. Got some Japanese figures down here. Slight translation error. Stormtrooper. This C-3PO metal figure fires missiles from its stomach. Now, if you were in Spain,
Mira, de España,
you could
¿eh?
get Colgate
Pañita,
dental
cabrón.
cream with an action figure, one of
Colgate.
70 different action figures. Unfortunately for Colgate, this particular one came with Bib Fortuna, the character in Star Wars with the absolutely worst teeth in the entire series. If you were in Italy, you could get an action.
Es que es verdad, ¿eh? Pones a Big Fortuna ahí, ¿sabes? Regalas a Big Fortuna y que tiene los dientes como una piraña, cabrón. Para que te laves los dientes y se te quede igual que Big Fortuna, ¿no? Está guapo, tío. Colgate. Tú mira todo lo que tiene. Y aquí en el vídeo apenas se ve nada. Pero es alucinante, es que es alucinante, tío.
Figure with glue sticks or glue sticks with an
Ojo,
action
Ewok.
figure, whatever you were looking for.
A full de marketing, ¿no? De la serie Ewok.
These are for kids or dogs, but you chew the head off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. has a Darth Vader gargoyle or grotesque on one of its spires. Bootleg figures are big, and the Imperial Gunner is on the card.
No
with
se ve todo.
The most powerful weapon in the galaxy, the Death Star laser cannon, turns out to be a calculator. Fan-made objects fill Rancho Obi-Wan. This was a gift from someone in Mexico City. They put all of Chewbacca's hair on an action figure. So this is the Louisville Slugger
México, ¿eh?
Jedi baseball bat and the San Francisco Giants Wookiee of the Year. Of course, you remember Luke Skywalker going to Tashi Station in his R2-D2 van. So this was a model kit.
La camioneta.
Of course, we have a Darth Vader van too. Dolls.
Qué guapas esas camionetas. Tienen que tener tiempo, ¿eh? Tienen que ser muy antiguas, ¿no? Esto tiene pinta, vamos, principios de los 80 mínimo. Lo que pasa que, no sé yo, estas empresas y tal. Sí, es de los 80, ¿no? No sé. Ojito las Barbies.
Princess Leia, Darth Vader, and R2-D2. And from Robot Chicken, 3 stop-motion animation figures from all 3 of the specials. The Emperor, Obi-Wan, and Nerd Boy.
El Robot Chicken ese estaba gracioso, ¿eh? En su momento, cuando lo hacían.
Encased, many Wookiees died to bring you this cell phone case. The Japanese use a lot of Japanese culture with their Star Wars products, so we have R2 and C-3PO and the Cherry Blossoms. Darth Vader going fishing in Tokyo. Of course. Where would I be without a
Darth Vader
going fishing in Tokyo? And the Cherry Blossoms. Darth Vader going
pescando en Tokio, ¿eh? Darth Vader. Ah, increíble.
Going fishing in Tokyo. Of course.
Increíble.
Where would I be without a Princess Leia and Padme Amidala bowling ball? There were 7 different bowling balls, and there was even a bowling league for a year and a half. Now here's a wonderful lady's shoe and a treacherous lady's shoe. Plush. Never made into production. Here's Luke inside the Tauntaun.
No. Pero no la has sacado, ¿no? No se ve, no se ve. Pero dice que había un Luke Skywalker dentro del Tauntaun, ¿no?
This bantha has a little indigestion. Wait a second, there's my barrel of hazardous waste. It's the Dianoga. Go back to your trash pit. Thank goodness. Anybody want a Star Wars banana?
Una banana de Star Wars, cabrón. Mira lo que tiene. Si es que está loco. Está loco. No lo enseña, no lo enseña.
Unfortunately, right now it has a Coke can from China in it, but and the infamous Jar Jar Binks Monster Mouth Candy Tongue. Star Wars Old El Paso soft tortillas. And then people have made figures of me.
Tortillas Sol del Paso, ¿eh?
Perhaps the strangest being Steve is Yoda. Big ears. But I am fully posable, so I guess that means something. Cream of Jawa soup, Dewback cigarettes, R2-D2 Rubik's Cube, all fan-made. Nobody's soup.
Todo esto de aquí es él, ¿no? Él hecho en figura, ¿no? Está guapo, ¿eh?
R2-D4. And then we have artist-made limited edition
Qué locura.
figures. One of my favorite series is the Severed Limb series. Darth Vader's hand and the Wampa arm. Ann Newman and I love BB-8. And this is maybe a quarter of the objects that have been made available over the last few years on BB-8. Everything from BB-8 oranges and grapes to
Naranjas BB-8.
a little teapot. Now over here on the other side of the room is one of our favorite attractions. And this is the kid's bedroom. From, say, 1984. For the luckiest Star Wars loving kid in the world.
Ya ves, ¿eh? Si eres el niño más afortunado del mundo, tendrías esto, ¿no? En 1984. ¡Mama! ¡Qué locura!, ¿no? ¡Qué guapo, tío!
And look who the neighbor is. Uncle Owen and Aunt Bruce homestead.
No, tío Owen.
We've got some homestead right out the window.
Pero bueno. Esto ya no es de un niño, ¿eh? Esto ya no es de un niño. Esto ya empieza a ser la habitación de un teenager, ¿no? De un adolescente, cabrón. No sé, por la cara, ¿no? Pero sí, mira a los vecinos, cabrón. Mira a los vecinos.
We've got some really unusual Lego pieces.
Mamá de Lego.
We have the world's only purple and gold Lego Millennium Falcon with none other than Lando Calrissian tricked out in his purple hat, umbrella, and a paint roller. This was actually done by an intern at Lego in Billund. This is from a friend of mine named Chuck Bowman, and it's the only one of its kind. It's the Bella the Bantha rocker. He originally made the Tilly the Tauntaun rocker and has made a number of those for kids, but I complained that it was a little too small for me and that I really wanted one. Here we have R2 Mr. T2, who was on the Conan O'Brien show when George Lucas was a guest back in the 90s, and they wanted something that they could make George laugh about. These three are giant Lego statues.
¿Ese R2D2 no es de Padre de Familia, de Family Guy? ¿No salía en el especial? Sí, ¿no? Salía en el especial de Family Guy, ¿no?
Lightsaber replicas, some of them signed. Mark Hamill, Christopher Lee, James Earl Jones.
Qué locura, qué locura. Mira los sables. Qué locura.
C3PO from Canada.
Pero tiene pezones. Se trepeó. Tenía pezones, cabrón.
Of Darth Vader by Lawrence Noble again. Original pieces of the Death Star surface. Over here we have a cutaway Millennium Falcon. Figures sold separately, of course. Batteries not included.
Wow, mama.
Amazing model kits. Large ATST or Chicken Walker from Matthew O'Connor.
Tú mira, ¿eh? Y el Sandcrawler de antes, el detalle que tenía dentro. Este no sé yo si tiene el detalle dentro. Sí tiene una luz y tal, pero no sé, ¿eh?
If you've always wanted to have an Ewok costume, this is original Ewok fur or acrylic material.
Oh, qué guapo, espera. A ver. Esta furgoneta es la de Spaceball. Es la de Spaceball, ¿no? De Mel Brooks. ¿No? Que es la película de cachondeo de Star Wars, ¿no? Película de full comedia, cabrón. Yo creo que sí, que viajaban en esto, ¿eh? Viajaban en la furgoneta, en Spaceball. Qué película más guapa, ¿eh? Bueno, en su momento estaba guapa.
In here, perhaps the most famous of the action figures that were never made. And this is the rocket firing Boba Fett.
Yo también, hace años. Tengo que verla,
with the so-called L slot and the painted version with the so-called J slot, which was meant as a kind of locking mechanism. As far as we know, there are maybe 15 to 20, there are a lot of bootlegs out there, of the unpainted version, and maybe half of that number of the painted version. And then a Finnish sculptor
¿Qué cojones?
made the Luke, Han, and Leia My Little Pony versions.
My Little Pony, cabrón. My Little Pony. Es increíble. ¡Ojo! Nuevo lugar, ¿eh? No te creas que era solo esa habitación, ¿eh? Mira qué puerta, cabrón. Mira qué puerta. Qué locura. Oh, oh.
you at the work. And he says, you can't kill me today. It's life day. Life day. I don't even know what that is. Do you?
Please tell me you executed him anyway.
Oh, yeah, we killed him. That's
No,
for sure.
no.
I mean, he was just...
Whoops.
You.
Yeah.
You in Rebel Starship Corridor 1138. What are you doing there?
Well, I'm just
Let
showing
me
folks.
see some identification.
You don't need to see my identification.
We don't need to see their identification.
What about the guests?
Oh, these aren't the guests you're looking for.
These aren't the guests we're looking for.
Hijo de puta.
We can continue on our tour.
We can let them through now.
Thanks, bud.
Move along. Move along.
Blom. Sí, claro, 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 lo tiene todo preparado. Pero está guapo, está guapo.
To the expansion.
Here
we have the cantina chessboard.
Qué guapo, ¿eh? El ajedrez.
Notice the wallpaper. Dead bad guys. For here we have a Don Post C3PO, an R2D2. We've got a bunch of helmets here. So the helmets on the back were all done by artists.
Aquí de Plo Koon, ¿eh?
Sold at
Plo
auction
Koon,
at a Star Wars celebration for
Darth
Make-A-Wish.
Maul.
And then these are mostly custom-made helmets on loan from a friend of ours. As well as skateboards decks that were sold for the Empire Skates back. Our water and cupcake table.
Solo esa puerta ya es una fortuna. Sí.
Bobbleheads. A land speeder built on a red wagon. And a Jawa sand crawler also built on a red wagon. Let's see if we can't figure out what this is.
Ojo.
Common carbonite. R2D2 mailbox. This is Darth Malgus. It was a contribution from Sideshow Collectibles.
Momo.
Here we have Yoshi Toku, the oldest doll company in Japan, made this.
Mira, japonés, ¿eh?
1/4 scale samurai suit.
Darth Vader Samurai, tío.
A headpiece and neckpiece for a stormtrooper, and then finally a full figural Darth Vader.
Una puta locura. Que es una puta locura.
The world's largest Star Wars
Mira
painting,
esto.
the 20th Century Space Opera by Robert Xavier Burton, a San Francisco artist. But it's a brilliantly painted piece. It took him 18 months and 2,000 hours of work. And this giant Darth Vader head
Puta locura, tío.
was from the Toys R Us megastore in Midtown Manhattan.
Ojo, de Manhattan, ¿eh? Ese Toys R Us, que es el que he dicho yo antes, que pillé la fiambrera esa por $1. Pues sí, sí.
I was actually in the Ewok costume for Star Wars
Ojo.
Celebration, the opening ceremony. Here we have masks from the Vader Project. Probably the only piece of Star Wars scrimshaw that you'll ever see. This was.
Ah, es verdad. Ojo esto, ¿eh? Ojo.
It's an 11,000-year-old mastodon bone, and it's done by a gentleman named Noel Green. This is called retirement. We have.
Es el hueso de un mastodonte, ¿no? Dice. Y ahí está tallado, ¿sabes? El de esto, que son los troopers, ¿no? Sí. Mama.
A gentleman named Noel Green.
Sí, sí, es para quedarte ahí como, ¿qué? Monca.
Feeding the clone chickens and Darth Rooster watching on.
Ojo el emperador. El emperador cuidando sus gallinitas, cabrón.
Fence. Black velvet art from
Este cuadro es Dios. Este cuadro es Dios.
This is a costume that was worn
Terciopelo negro de
by
Tijuana.
And Kathy Lee is still in here. She's promised to say Kathy
Espera.
Lee Gifford.
¿Esto qué es? La madre que lo parió.
Kathy Lee is still in here. She's promised to say hello to us today. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Steve. We go to one more room. A fun room. Follow me.
Esa es la Caitlyn Kennedy, ¿no? No veas, no veas lo que tiene aquí, hermano. Mire, 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 mire.
Where we have most of the machines that have been made for Star Wars.
Mama. Sí, sí, yo con una de estas me conformo. ¿Tú sabes lo que tiene que costar una máquina de estas de pinball? Eso es Dios. Siempre he querido tener esto, tío. Espérate. Esta de aquí, tío. Siempre, siempre, siempre. A mí que este juego me encanta, que lo tenía en la Nintendo 64. Bueno, que a veces lo hemos jugado aquí en el stream, ¿no? Es la polla, tío. Tú mira esta máquina. Qué guapo. Mira los controles, todo. Guapísimo. Guapísimo. ¡Tragaperras! ¡Ojo! ¡Qué guapo ese! ¡Qué guapo esto de aquí, ¿no? Toda esta parafernalia así, todo el rollo está guapísimo, cabrón. Mira aquí los cascos, mira aquí... Qué locura, tío. Qué locura. Record Guinness, ¿eh?
Oh, don't mind me.
Qué puta locura, tío. He jugado en recreativas, sí, pero no a esa máquina, ¿eh? No, a esa máquina no. Nunca la vi, tío. Pero sí he jugado por lo típico. ¿Cuál era? ¿El Sega Rally o algo así? Los típicos de coches, de rally, el de las motos también, que eran como los quad y todo rollo. Íbamos siempre a jugar al de las pistolas. ¿Cómo se llamaba? Puede ser que me equivoque. ¿El Time Crisis? ¿Puede ser? ¿Cuál era, tío? ¿Uno así de pistola? Ese estaba guapo. Crazy Taxi también lo jugábamos en las recreativas. Time Crisis, ¿no? Sí, 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 sí. Estaba guapísimo, tío. Estabas ahí. Ay, ay, ay. Claro, después lo sacaron para consola. Lo sacaron para consola también. Sí, sí, es verdad. Yo llegué a jugarlo, me parece, en la Dreamcast de un colega, en la Dreamcast. Me parece que sí, ¿eh? Pero sí, jugábamos a ese en las recreativas, no sé. Habían un montón de juegos, ya te digo. Habían algunos que eran quad, otros que eran coches y todo rollo. Era la polla. Era la polla. Muy guapo. Muy guapo. Sí, 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 sí. Let's go. ¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué hacemos? ¿Qué hacemos? No me quisiera joder la espalda, ¿eh? También te digo. No quisiera joderme la espalda. Probamos a lo mejor y echamos un poquito de Battlefront ahí con las naves tranquilo, o buscamos más vídeos. Es que ya ver... Había otro de un... Sí, había otro que estaba guapo. A ver si lo encuentro. Mira, aquí está. Hay otro vídeo del tío respondiendo preguntas y tal. A ver si encuentro uno de una casa que tenía algunos detallitos que estaban guapos. ¿Qué me ha pasado en la espalda? Se me pillaron el otro día los lumbares, ¿sabes? Y sí, lo tenía ahí la contractura. Y el otro día, el jueves, durante el stream, se me quedó pillado, ¿sabes? Y sí, aguanté, pero ayer no hice directo porque que no podía ni moverme, vamos. No podía ni estar quieto, imagínate. Un dolor increíble, pero bueno. Es que con la espalda ya llevo liado. Me la jodía en el trabajo. Se me jodió la quinta vértebra, la tengo aplastada. Entonces muchas veces tengo problemas de espalda, pero bueno. se vive con ello, ¿no? ¿Cuál era, tío? Es que no me... A ver si lo encuentro. A ver si lo encuentro. No sé si es este. Un segundito, déjame que lo compruebe. No. Es que vi un poquito y dije, ¿lo vemos en directo? Sí, puede ser que sea este. Tenía unos cuadros muy guapos. Con los póster y tal, y tenía una disposición bastante guapa. Sí, este lo vi, este era uno, pero había otro, tío. ¿Sabes? Como que no tenía las cosas amontonadas, sino que lo tenía como bien puesto todo, no sé. Aunque quedaba así más o menos elegante. Pero, ¿este? ¿Era este? Un segundo.
Today I am going to Simi Valley, California.
Este es el que viene a visitarlo. Este. Vale. Vale. Ojo, ¿eh? Lo ponemos al esloveno, ¿no?
Today I am going to Simi Valley, California to check out the house of fellow collector
Es una putada,
Jason
sí, lo de la
Duback
espalda es una
Deliveries.
putada, pero bueno. Sí. Me la jodí en el curro, en una intervención. Ya.
Hey, I'm here to see Jason's
Se me jodió.
collection.
Go away, nerd.
Today I am at Jason's house, Duback Deliveries, for an awesome room tour here in Simi Valley, California.
bueno.
Let's check it out.
Welcome, Spice Runners. Hope you get to enjoy my collection today. Really excited
Mira,
to share it with you.
este tío lo que tiene, el
We've
hijo
put
puta,
together
¿eh?
this room for about the last year and a half, moving things around, curating some of it, moving some stuff out, getting some new ideas. Everybody's collections help inspire me to try new things, and definitely still have some options I want to implement and change some things around. But let's check it out.
Uf, qué puta locura. Espérate, ¿eh? Vengo rápido, señores. ¿Veis lo que digo? Este tío tenía las cositas, las tiene como, no sé, está guapo, ¿sabes? El cabrón. Está guapo. Ahora vengo. ¿Vale? No sé si se me han apagado los cascos. No. Vale. Qué guapo. Me flipa eso de aquí, ¿eh? Las cabezas colgadas ahí en la pared, tío. Están muy guapos.
All right, so starting off, we've got premium format and 1/6 loop of tauntaun, but
Como que tiene las
when I arrange my
cosas
stuff, I try to go
como
in
elegante,
chronological
¿no?
order for the,
Está, no sé,
series.
las cosas bien.
So obviously we got Rogue One, we got the Sand Trooper from A New Hope, Luke on Tauntaun from Empire Strikes Back. So that's a 1/6 sideshow. It's not quarter scale.
Mira la de
but it
L,
seemed to fit.
la de
So
L44, ¿no?
1/10
La
General
pistola de
Giant,
Han
Rancor, and Handler.
en la pared.
Really, really love this piece. Early piece from General Giant. Was able to get it at Star Wars Celebration 2019.
Tell us a funny story about that one.
Yeah, so we've been looking at this piece and a couple others that we'll see in a moment. And, you know, living in LA, but in Chicago, it's like, how am I going to get this stuff back? You're worried about it breaking, you know, in transit. But last day of the con, me and Evan were sitting in the Toys That Made Us panel. We're both kind of sitting there thinking we only got a couple hours left to pick up some last items before the convention closes out. And we're like, let's go. You want to just go pick up those bad boys? We're like, yep, let's do it. So we cut out of the panel, pick up all our loot, then we go to do the shipping. For this, luckily, arrived intact. I was worried about the little drool breaking off, but came through. And Evan, of course, got his life-size Han and Carbonite shipped separately, which came out
guapo,
beautifully in his collection. Got a Han DL44 blaster. It's a Etsy custom. Not totally accurate, but just kind of cool little accent piece on the wall.
Good, dude.
Got the quarter scale Vader from Sideshow. Don't think the
Estos los Sideshow son muy caros.
Great piece, love it.
Más que los Hot Toys.
Look at Vader. It really just helps tie the room together. Then we got the quarter scale Sideshow Mandalorian and Grogu. This was a controversial piece.
Mínimo
I do think
500.
the Iron Studios one is better, but this is still a really, really good piece. Really like the sculpt, the paint application, the metallic look of the armor. I think is pretty impressive, and Grogu doesn't look.
Se nota, sí, se nota y demasiado. Los Sideshow.
Coming down here, we got the 1/6 scale figures. So starting with A New Hope and going all the way through to Jedi.
Qué guapo, tío.
There's a mix here of Sideshow, Coda Bakia, Hot Toys.
Hot
and
Toys.
I think that's it.
Juguetes calientes.
Have a couple statues down below when it gets to the Stormtrooper and the Boba Fett. This was the other piece at Celebration. I picked up the 1/6 Wampa, which I've been looking for
mira
for
Yoda,
quite a while.
La que guapo el Wampa.
Qué guapo. Online, but was really excited to be able to pick that up along with the Rancor. And then we've got the 1/6 Hot Toys Empire Strikes Back Yoda. Built a little diorama and threw some moss around it just to kind of give it some environmental effect.
That's cool, dude.
Yep, and then did the same thing with Wicket down here. So that's a 1/6 scale Wicket.
Ojito Wicket.
Scout Trooper.
Jabo.
Bigger than I thought it was gonna be because it was supposed to be 1/7 scale, but it actually looks like it's 1/6.
Mira la cara de Luke.
Got the Return of the Jedi Luke from Hot Toys, and then over here I've just got some space that I'm saving for the NYC ATST, and then also the General Giant Admiral Akbar. I got them pre-order. I'm gonna put those over there.
Nice.
Yep.
What about these guys here? Are these General Giant?
So we got, so we got the 1/6 General Giant.
Ah, qué guapo. Este es como el espía que sale en la primera película, en la New Hope, ¿no? La de Una Nueva Esperanza. Es el que avisa, ¿no? Cuando están en el halcón milenario y todo rollo. Es este de aquí atrás. Está guapo, está guapo.
Actually, sorry, 1/7 General Giant Luke Dreamer statue. He's a little bit out of scale with the rest of the pieces here, but still looks pretty good.
Y ojito el gonk.
Han Solo from General Giant, and then Chewbacca from Coda Bakia, 1/6 piece that picked up at Celebration 2019. So really good pairing, even though one's a vinyl figure and the other one's a polystone statue, but still think they look pretty good. Like I said, try to keep it, chronological order, just so, it's probably a little obsessive on my part, but I like doing that.
Looks good, dude. What about this General Giant piece right here?
Yeah, so we got the Stormtrooper General Giant statue, milestone statue that came out this year. Really love that piece. It's awesome. Very accurate and kind of a classic pose for the Stormtrooper. And then we've got the 1/6 Sideshow Han and Carbonite, which does light up. Nice piece. Then we've got the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett that is also Gentle Giant and was sculpted by a friend of the show's, which is Joe Mena, who's extremely talented, and he did that piece as an exclusive for the Premier Guild Gentle Giant subscription this year. Yeah, so the artwork at the top,
estaba hecho por alguien,
I can't remember if that print's called Pin Down, but courtesy of Evan, got that for me for a Christmas gift one year. And then the next one, the Rogue One piece, I believe is Acme Archives. Can't remember the artist's name, but I really like that print, kind of like the pop culture style to it. And then down below, we got the Dave Dorman artist proof print that he actually signed for us at Celebration 2019. Really love that scene. Big fan of the Sand Troopers, looking for C-3PO and R2, of course, featuring the Dewbacks, which are one of my favorite creatures. So really like that
Dewbacks.
Awesome to get to meet Dave in person at Celebration 2019. Another piece that he did that we picked up same Celebration was kind of what David Boudreau talks about as an in-between scene. So something you didn't actually see in The Force Awakens, but could very well have happened, where you see Rey getting hassled by some First Order troopers, and she does have BB-8 tucked away in her salvage net there. Just thought it was a really cool scene. Got some Imperial Walkers, or AT-ATs, or AT-ATs, as many people prefer, in the background. So just love Dave Dorman. Been a big fan of his since the mid-90s when he was working for Dark Horse Comics. So it was just awesome to be able to pick up that piece. The one above, I'm gonna blank on the artist's name and feel bad about that, but those are
Está guapo este cuadro, tío. Está
May the
guapo.
Fourth prints that came out in 2022, honoring the original trilogy, and you could buy them individually or as a set. I got the set and then framed them up. Had a really cool local framer help me pick kind of the metal pitted frame, which I wasn't thinking originally would look really good, but really happy with it. It's kind of a dark gold, but really happy with just the presentation of those three together.
Some Joe Hazy custom.
Esto es la polla, esto me encanta.
My favorite pickups this year. So the extremely talented Joel Hazy, who's a good buddy of ours, does amazing custom work. If you haven't checked out his work before, highly recommend you look into to what he has available. He does custom projects for people. This was one he did for me. This was inspired obviously by Galaxy's Edge and Doc Hondar's down at Antiquities, where you've got creature heads, full size. They have full size, so I went 1/6 because obviously I couldn't fit 1-to-1 scale creature heads. But Joel did an amazing job cranking these out super fast.
Qué locura, tío. Mira los pelos, mira todo, mira el detalle.
Back was the main one I was thinking of, and then just the others kind of came with
El gotelé de la pared.
Extending this project in 2023 and filling up the wall.
Nice.
Be working on some other creatures that he's going to start banging out for me. So
Súper detallado, es una locura. Mira los pelos, tío.
Totally beating my expectations as far as what I thought he was going to be able to achieve.
Eso está muy guapo, es que me gusta. Y además me recuerda al poder de la fuerza, al juego. En una de las salas que tenían colgadas todas las cabezas, está guapo.
All right, and the funny story with this print, so Katana Between Two Worlds is, I had seen this 2 years ago, really liked it. My wife is always complaining she doesn't know what to get me for Christmas as it relates to Star Wars, so I said to Evan, hey, drop the hint. Let her know I really want this. And he's like, okay, I'll let her know about it. And then he ends up picking it up for himself, and he gets the first of the run, number 1 out of the series. So, and then she ended up not buying it for me because she said, I didn't know you didn't really push it, so I ended up having to buy it for myself. And then,
what we can do is I can send you mine, and we can give this one away on the show.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first.
Wow, man, that is mighty generous.
Oh yeah, it's
¿No ves? Como que están chulos los cuadros así puestos. No sé, el tío tiene algo. Full Manolo y Benito, cabrón. Full gotelé,
see if I can
Sí, sí.
turn that off. There we get it better.
Manos a la obra,
We
¿no?
met Darren Tan, who's a great illustrator. He's worked for Lucasfilm, video game companies, all kinds of concept work.
No sé, me gusta esto de los cuadros, cómo los tiene, además, los diferentes marcos, como que quedan bien, no sé, está el tío tiene cositas elegantes, ¿no?
It's funny how we met Darren Tan. We got in a random line for, was it like a fantasy flight game? Then we found...
Vamos a ir para adelante un poquito.
Company, and they would have all different types of collectibles that they would sell. And this was a Macquarie limited edition print that they released with actual film cells from the scene of Luke battling the Rancor. Battery's out right now, but this does light up, and you can see the film cell in there.
Mira qué guapo,
It's a
tío.
really cool piece that I've had, gosh,
Qué guapo, ¿eh?
probably about 20 years now.
Cómo tiene la escena ahí, ¿eh?
The collection. This one here is the Darth Vader 1-to-1 EFX PCR helmet that Eben was kind enough to sell to me as he was upgrading to the Sideshow 1-to-1 bust. This is probably my favorite piece of the entire collection. If the house was on fire, this would be the one thing that's definitely getting grabbed. And Eben was cool enough to get me a signature plaque of Brian Muir, the sculptor for the helmet. So really great accent piece to go along with what is my favorite part of my collection. Cybercraft 332nd, is that the
332nd? Yep, that's the squadron.
Yeah, this piece blew me away. I had never bought Cybercraft before, and was just really amazed at the quality of their piece and the paint application, which is just awesome with the Ahsoka design.
Qué guapo, ¿eh? Los clones de la Ahsoka y todo el rollo. De la última temporada de Clone Wars. Este es el casco que digo, está muy guapo, tío. El casco rebelde de los ala X, guapísimo.
I think for the price, this one really is tough to beat, and from a distance, you know, it's great in the collection just to have. We got the Mythos, I think.
Mira qué chulo, ¿eh?
Yeah. This was a heartbreaker for me because I absolutely loved this piece, and I love the pre-production shots of Anakin.
Pero este no es Mythos Obi-Wan, ¿eh? Es Obi-Wan general de las guerras clon. No es el Mythos. A lo mejor Mythos es lo que hacen, ¿no? Las figuras puede ser también, pero el Myth Kenobi.
It's just such a missed opportunity or a wasted opportunity because the rest of that piece looks awesome. It would have looked great here. You know, maybe if they put it on deep discount, I'll get it. Have Joel fix the face, whatever. But it's just a crime because the Obi-Wan portrait. It's beautiful, dude. It's just they knocked it out of the park. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I love the flame effects and you know the cut marks you see on the super battle droid. So we're kind of now into the Clone Wars section of my collection, which
creo que Mythos es como la empresa que lo hace, ¿no? Pasa que está el Myth Kenobi, ¿no?
Opened up in my collection, and the pieces that were coming out were just so awesome. It's like I've got
Esto está guapo, tío.
This is the 1/7.
Sí, hay cosas que dice, ojalá tenerlas, ¿eh? Mira qué guapo, el casco de Rex con todas las bajas y tal, está guapísimo. Hay cosas muy guapas. Otras cosas que te dan igual tenerlas o no, pero sí, hay cositas que dices, joder, qué guapo, me gustaría tenerlo también.
Final episode where Rex and Ahsoka are having to fight their way out of the clone troopers that are trying to execute Order 66 and take her out. So Kota Bukai for what they do, I'm just always amazed of what they're able to achieve in their paint applications and their pose and styling of the pieces that they produce. And I've been so close to getting the Bad Batch group because I like one of my favorites.
Vamos a ir viendo, ¿no? Así un poquito más de esto. Esto es de la serie, ¿no? Eso era de la serie de dibujos del 2003, ¿puede ser?
absolutely love the design. Love that series, that micro series where General Grievous was actually a badass.
Lo echaba Cartoon Network, ¿no?
Knocking
Me
out
parece.
Jedi left and right and taking sabers in his collection, but really love the styling and the design on these pieces. I'd love to get the others. There's about 6 other pieces, the Mace Windu, the Roaring Cobb, a bunch of different characters, General Kenobi. I wish they had made a Dirge. That's the one I think would have been a great addition to this line. But anyway, even if I stop at these 3, I'm pretty happy. Love the Grievous and pose on Anakin. Helmet from Samo. I love art. Just discovered them this year. Really love what they do. Very different from Cybercraft. Different kind of feel and materials that they use for their helmets, but really impressive as display pieces nonetheless. So until 2022, I didn't collect sabers, and now I guess I do. So,
Ojo, no coleccionó las espadas láser hasta el 2022.
Lleva
un año.
The Anakin saber, the Count Dooku, and the
Ha
Vader,
dejado
and then the last one
dinerito,
there is the Desert Wanderer, also known as the Obi-Wan saber from the Obi-Wan series by Corbanth, and that is by far my favorite lightsaber. Out of all sabers that are available right now, I just love the weathering on that.
El que está grabando, esto es lo de la promoción de Adidas con Star Wars, ¿no?
Look, the feel, the authenticity of it is just, it's beyond reproach. Love it. All right, down here again, I've talked about how much I love Kotobukiya and what they do with the vinyl.
Qué guapo los clones, tío.
And these are definitely highlights for me, as we've got just a series of clone troopers. We've got the Phase 1 clone trooper. Got that one off eBay, and actually the guy who sold to me did a custom paint application on the base, so that's really cool. Captain Bly next up in the lineup, and then a 501st, which is Hot Toys. Jumped on that before they sold out.
Bing bong.
And then the last one, obviously ARC Trooper, which is interesting because Koto put that figure out in a number of different paint applications. But
okay,
yeah, I think these were ones.
Hot Toys, ¿no? Vamos a ir pasando, pues si no es que se tiran un puto rato ahí con la figura. Está guapo, pero vamos a ir pasando, ¿no?
That they had props and models. Good friend Jeff Sage, also known as Star Wars Addict, he let me know that Corbanth actually had a few of these available, actually full size, which Jeff got, and then of course the half size or the full size but bust version. So I with the bust because I didn't have room for the full size K2SO, but it did also come with a signed plaque from Alan Tudyk, which just kind of sealed the deal for me. And it's a great piece, has a great presence among the collection. One of my favorite droids from Star Wars. I know he's a popular one, but
la firma de Alan Tudyk, que es el que le puso la voz, ¿no? Al K2SO.
Shoulder pauldrons, but a lot to like with this piece.
Here.
On here, we've got
Death Trooper,
this is a
¿no? Se llama.
1/6 Death Trooper from Rogue One, Kotobukiya.
Muy guapo.
Or so.
A
Some
ver.
modification. It's just kind of holding down the books for now. The heavy infantry Mando, I just was blown away. I didn't buy this when it was initially.
Este lo hace el Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau hace de este personaje en la serie. Está guapo.
But when I saw this thing in person at a collector shop,
Ash Vizsla se llama, me parece.
the armor, just the detail on the gun. I mean, it's like it just blew my mind, and it's still something I just come in and I stare at regularly, just because the attention to detail on this thing. I'm amazed that they were able to get that paint application. And just the armor design is cool. The gun is cool. The helmet is just incredible. I love the design within Star Wars, from prequels, original, and even the sequel trilogy. I think there's some really good design
Guapísimo,
there.
Mira ese mando,
Mando
cabrón.
really has done a lot
Guapísimo, tío.
of great things when it comes to armor design for the Mandos and creature design. So it's one of the reasons why I also picked up the 1/6 Mando on Blurg. I missed the original 1/6 Mando with the Durasteel armor, so I jumped at the chance to grab this.
Guapísimo, guapísimo, tío.
I know there's some controversy with the Blurg, as being very light and kind of hollow, and I know some of our friends have called it like the pool toy material that you could get. But, you know, really it's just kind of a showpiece on display. I think it's just a really nice creature from Hot Toys when we don't get many creatures from Hot Toys. So really like that they produce this. I'm going to talk to Joel Hazy, see what I can do to kind of glisten up the gums and the teeth a little bit, so do a little more glare on the gums, make it look a little more like he's got drool.
Muy chulo, ¿eh?
And then
Qué chulo, tío.
Also on the Mando shelf here, we've got the 1/6 Hot Toys Bo-Katan, another extraordinary piece with just awesome paint.
Boca bronceado, cabrón. Es que los subtítulos son locos, ¿eh? Son locos.
The holsters, the boots, and the undersuit. I mean, it's just a gorgeous piece. For anybody that's on the fence with
Muy guapo. Pero lo suyo está guapo, en verdad, pero se está centrando directamente en las piezas, pero lo suyo sería ver un poquito en general todo. Pero lo tienen muy bien hecho, tío. Muy bien puesto, muy bien decorado, cabrón. Aquí es como...
And really great tailoring, great weapons, great accessories with this piece. Was thinking about adding a few more, but gonna hold off for now. And then next to that is a little bit of a cheat. This is actually a Return of the Jedi Legends in 3D bust of Boba Fett, but it kind of works okay as a substitute for the...
Sí, el que graba lleva la sudadera de Adidas de Boba Fett.
Season 2. But probably something will change out at some point. Down here, we've got some sequel trilogy pieces. So this was the limited edition Bloodstain Finn, First Order Trooper. That was a Sideshow exclusive, and actually might have been a San Diego Comic-Con, but they ended up selling a few on the site, and I was able to get it before they sold out. And then
exclusiva, ¿no? De la Comic Con de San Diego.
Or Scavenger Ray, I think it was. Again, you know, not being a big fan of sequel trilogy, but these two pieces were just exceptional, and really still happy with having them in the collection for display. This, I think, was the United States Postal release of the Stamps series they had back in the early 2000s, and the other one I have, they're the actual stamps, but this was a print with an envelope branded for Star Wars, and always really liked it. They came framed, so it was just an easy to hang piece.
Ojito Grogu, ¿eh? Mamá, qué detalle, cabrón. Mira los pelos.
A lot of people like to chop up, so he's now posable. As many people who are braver than I am and have more skills in making that happen. So for right now, he's just kind of chilling in his original pose and stance from Sideshow. Yeah, so below that we've got the Death Watch Mando helmet from the Hasbro Black Series. Love this piece, love that design. I've been meaning to pick up a few other Death Watch Mando pieces, but so far just had the helmet. Below that we got the Beskar version of the Mando helmet from Black Series. But, you know,
the Black Series.
That they look that are looking for Black Series piece. That's there on the bottom. Just really company out of Russia. Picked up this helmet this year, the 501st Clone Trooper. Love this design, this color. The weathering on it is just fantastic. These helmets are pretty affordable, very comparable to Cybercraft, just a little bit different in the design and kind of sheen of the helmets. But you know, when I saw this come up this year, I had to have
está guapo el detalle ahí de la mierdecilla ahí.
501st Trooper bust, I just think is absolutely gorgeous. Would love to pick that up, but I think fetches a pretty penny on the secondary market. So
muy guapo.
Here we've got 1/6.
Pero sí, se está centrando más.
That red, but first Clone Trooper. The
Ojito los bustos,
Mama. Of Commander Cody, Vader, and the Shock Trooper are probably the first high-end Star Wars collectibles that I ever acquired. So this really is what kicked off my collection. Got these in 2003, I think it was, maybe 2004. Just really great pieces. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Gentle Giant, just their craftsmanship, their sculpting, their paint applications, and these guys are just phenomenal. Fortunately, I can't do
Qué guapo, tío.
the saber for Vader. He does come with the saber, but it's too tall for this current display case. But the head detail of just the burns and all the battle damage from the fight on Mustafar.
Qué chulo, tío.
Awesome. Also awesome is the Rogue One. Really happy. Royal Guards from Return of the Jedi. I am actively hunting for the Emperor on Throne, 1/10 scale from Kotobukiya, because these are throne that everything is pegged in.
Esto es la polla, tío. Con el speeder y todo el rollo está guapísimo.
That one planted foot is the only thing that is anchoring the entire display, so it does look like the speeder bike is hovering, which is really cool. Great detail from Gentle Giant. And then the last one's here, and with how the Last Jedi, again.
Ojito la batalla.
Visually, it's striking. This scene in particular, the fight in the throne room with the Royal Guards, absolutely loved it. And so,
maldito episodio 8. Hijo de puta. A ver.
So, this is the first Darren.
Más cuadros, ¿ves lo que te digo? Este tío tenía cuadros ahí, está bastante bien.
Celebration 2019 that me and Evan picked up. I love just the representation. Just love actually an original illustrations.
Luego te lee.
Trooper helmet that they produced in partnership with Nissan. Stormtrooper helmet, and I just paired with a tunic that I think has switch. Maybe give you some ideas on curating or building.
No es muy grande, que tiene esa sección ahí, todo rollo, pero lo tiene todo muy bien puesto, no sé qué, está guapo. Está guapísimo. Muy chulo, muy chulo. Me gusta. Muy chulo, tío. A ver, ¿cuál era esta? Ah, sí, le podemos echar un vistacillo a esta y lo dejamos por aquí. Porque antes de tener una mala postura y que me pegue ahí el zambombazo. A ver, este. Este tenía algunos detallitos que estaban guapos también. Tenía alguna cosilla. Lo vamos a ir viendo así más o menos. Ojito a la Nintendo 64 del tirón. Este tío sabe.
Yeah, this was always a dream of ours to have a basement with a game room area. We do have a menu at the bar for what we're serving.
Sus detallitos, sus cositas, ¿sabes? Está guapo. Más un sótano, ¿eh?
Boards that have descriptions of the drinks, but for when we host. But yeah, there are all Star Wars themed drinks, of course. Credits due fine for payment. Yeah, so this is the Van Cleve's Cantina.
¿Ves? El tío de antes era como todo muy elegante, ¿sabes? Así, sus cositas puestas. Y esto es lo que tendríamos cualquiera, si pudiéramos, ¿no? Todo amontonado, todo junto. Con un orden, pero...
Pretty much freelanced this entire thing. Literally, the first thing I did moving in, well, when I started doing this, is I decided to put the Black Series shelves there.
Tiene lavabo y todo, ¿eh? Sí, sí, sí. Este sí estuve... Comprobé un poquito, no lo he visto entero ni nada. Y en el lavabo tiene un dispensador de jabón y creo que era un droide de víbora. Droide víbora, de esos de reconocimiento. ¡Míralo! Ahí está. Míralo. Creo que decía que era un dispensador de jabón o algo así. Pero sí, sí. Ponemos subtítulos, ¿no?
Some of the areas may just have things up that are placeholders. Some things like down there in the middle, there's room for another one of those retro prototype figures when it comes through.
Pero sí, esta es como la habitación. A lo mejor no todos los muñecos por aquí pegados en la pared, pero es más o menos lo que podríamos tener cualquiera, ¿no? En plan, todo puesto ahí. Pero está guapo, está guapo.
I get the figures to stand. I put them on this little sticky tack stuff. I am more than happy to help. What I hung the sabers with, that's a common question. But yeah, anybody has any questions on it, I'm more than happy to help. I mean, I love being part of this community, and as many of us, I don't have a lot of, well, really anybody in my immediate life outside of myself and my wife that are like actually into this kind of stuff. So it's like I'm always cool meeting people on the internet. I'm part of a couple Facebook forums, things like that, and I like joining in on some of the collector live streams. Some fans of the channels. So anybody has any questions online, I'm more than happy to help. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and start to do a little bit of.
Oye, tiene cositas que están chulas, en verdad, está chulo, tío.
So first thing you'll see when you come down the stairs, it's basically my Black Series section. I'm actually going to start with my Black Series sabers as well.
¿No ves? Esto está muy guapo. Esto así de la estantería.
And I got the Maul saber here. I do have both sides of it, and it's too tall to actually fit down here fully, but luckily it fits right there, so it's good enough. And I like them vertical. I like all sabers being stored vertical. I just think they look so much cooler like that than the horizontal stands. And then I got my pin board. It's got my wife and I on it. Some super cool pins. So I'll just do a little bit.
Está chulo, en verdad.
Está
chulo.
At Disney World and we met Chewbacca. So just some
Está guapo,
pins,
está guapo.
patches, stuff like that on here. And kind of slowly add stuff over time. A lot of pins I buy if I have to meet like a minimum for free shipping from somewhere. So if you spend 10 extra bucks and shipping 6, you get the pin for $4 in theory. So that's how I'll kind of slowly fill this. That's actually really cool. Go Blue, Michigan Jump Trooper, Stormtrooper, so cool.
Eso es más un parche que un pin, ¿no?
This is basically these little shelves are where the vintage.
Está guapo, está guapo. Ahí con tus fotitos, ¿sabes? Y todos los pins.
I do plan to finish the 96 over my lifetime, and I have plenty of room to keep adding more of those shelves down the wall. They stick out about an inch, so they're absolutely perfect for this. Easy to mount, and I do have some like random modern loose figures just being fillers right now, but got my Kenner collection here.
Ahí están otra vez. Forlom y Zucus. Aquí están todos los cazarrecompensas, ¿no? Muy guapo.
Ideally, I get everything
y Porky's. Este de aquí es Porky's.
But for some of the pricier ones, I'll probably just be fine with whatever I can get. I'm not overly critical on wear and tear. And I got the rest of my sabers here. So basically these holders, I got them on Amazon. They're like lawn tool or like broom and mop holders. They just hang tools on your wall with. And it fits the shaft perfectly of the saber, and they are awesome. Holds the weight. Yeah, I got Luke, Rey, Asajj Ventress, Count Dooku, Palpatine, Vader, and Kylo Ren.
Masajeando a Ventress, es que lo de los subtítulos no. Ha dicho Asajj Ventress, su nombre. Se calienta, ¿eh?
Which I should eventually take out. I know I can't leave the batteries in there, but for now I have them all in. It's a hassle. You have to get an Allen wrench. I'm planning on doing these snazzy holiday figures. So I'm basically going to keep adding. I have all the new ones basically pre-ordered. I already have 3 of them, but anyway.
Ojo, que son de Black Series, ¿eh?
Back to back.
Black Series full navideño. Qué guapo. Era el Chewbacca navideño, ¿eh? Goz, ¿no? Está guapo el Chewbacca navideño, ¿eh? Bueno, el Chewbacca es un Wookiee. Y aquí el Pork. Ojo, el detallito, ¿eh? Está guapo, está guapo. Y este de aquí son... ¿Esto es un anzaliano de esos que salieron en el capítulo? Ojo.
Display, so basically, I'm going to leave the ones ideally that aren't troopers boxed.
Tan guapo.
Because I just want the troopers, the holiday ones, being the ones like surrounding the attack. I may get the White Vader, whatever it's called, the Reborn Vader or whatever, like leading the pack. I think that would fit here pretty well too. But anyway, yeah, so the Halloween guys are going to be in the middle, and then they're surrounded by the holiday people, and then I'll just have some boxed that are in the back, but they look super cool. Most recently, I just got the Mandalorian, which was my birthday yesterday. Fun fact, I turned 38. So my wife and I went to Target. We got that, and then we got the Yeah, Shore Trooper from Andor, the Target exclusive. So those are my last two figures I got, and then just a couple dolls on the side.
Están guapas, ¿eh?
The Padme and a Rey. Those gold,
Están guapos.
celebrate the Skywalker saga through 2 packs, the gold ones. I think they look classy. They're not probably not going to stay here. I'll find a new spot for them, but it's eventually going to be Black Series. This whole area
Figuras
is Black
doradas.
Series. I got a couple random stuffed animals, a Jar Jar, a Boba Fett, C-3PO, and there's R2 back there.
Nunca me llamó la atención, ¿sabes? Cuando ves las figuras así que están a lo mejor todo plateado, todo dorado.
What? BB-9E down there. And then if I get another little droid, I'll put one there.
Ojito, radio control, ¿no?
Yeah. I think that's
guapo.
And then my Black Series helmets, I got the Vader, the Stormtrooper, and the Incinerator Trooper. Probably done with helmets forever just because I have nowhere to put them. But 3 amazing choices. And then moving into some of the figures of the Black Series area.
Ahí tenía Zucus otra vez, ojito, Zucus y Forlom hoy protagonistas, ¿no?
Kenobi, the Grievous.
Grievous.
Power of the Force 2 Leia. The 40th anniversary Forlom Zuckuss misprint name.
Ay, el error que hemos visto antes de impreso. Ahí está, es Zucus, en verdad.
Collection figure ever. That card back is so sweet. The heavy infantry Mandalorian. Look at that. Paz Vizsla in the house.
Paz Vizsla in the house.
Triple Force Ride, the red and
Paz
white.
Vizsla in the house, baby.
Black and white box. Ray from the Red Box Edition Black Series. Love Ray so much. And love those figures. So those are kind of just like my some of my specialty ones over here. And a little bit of a drawback, what we got. And then we got the main Black Series area. So again, that shelf on the bottom.
Qué guapo, tío. Mira ese guampa, ¿eh? ¿Lo veis? Sí.
Sí se ve. Risers like all of these. That is a thing of beauty.
Mama.
As always, if anybody has questions of what I've used to display stuff, more than helpful.
Eso
I think the aesthetic is important.
¿Qué tiene las escenas así en la caja?
On the things you display stuff on, guys. We spend so much money on the things we collect, but to really show them off and display them well, you gotta invest a little bit in your display stuff too. And I think I did a good job finding stuff that looks good, but also within my budget, which is important. So you can spend a lot of money on display stuff. So if you have questions on how to kind of meet in the middle, I'm your man. I got some good ideas for things that you can slowly budget for over time, and also.
Qué guapo, ¿no? Está guapísimo. Con la escena así y la figura ahí puesta. Guapísimo. Súper guapo eso.
Just a couple figures up here, box. I got a Moloch. I got the Heroes of Endor set, which is so cool.
Qué guapo.
Palpatine in the throne room, or the throne Palpatine.
Guapo, tío.
There are a couple vehicles. I have Rey's speeder, swoop bike from Solo, and then the Mandalorian series speeder bike. And then I'm just gonna kind of go through these. This is my Black Series main area. The new Boba Fett was so cool. The new Ahsoka is so cool. The Empire Strikes Back Vader, still one of my top 5 ever. Let me look at that.
Los Black Series son la polla, ¿eh? Me gustaría tener al Vader de Black Series, la verdad.
Front runner for 1 or 2 of my favorite Black Series figures ever, along with the
Quito Yoda mochila, cabrón.
And also Return of Jedi Boba Fett's good. If I ever made a list of most underrated figures, I would probably put Zeb. I just think he's so cool.
Muy guapo, ¿eh? Los Black Series mejoraron un montón, ¿eh? Los detalles y todo. ¡Oh, qué guapo! Throne, ¿eh? El almirante Throne. Muy guapo, ¿eh?
Yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions, and if anybody wants like a more in-depth Black Series video, I'm more than happy to put that up. Everybody loves the Gamorrean Guard. The new comic book Leia is incredible.
Esto sí,
Jackson's cool.
Jackson, pero que no se escribe así, sino con las X. Es ese conejito, ¿no? Lo que pasa es el Jackson es otro, ¿eh? Me parece. A lo mejor estoy equivocado. O es él. Pero sí, el conejo este es como de unas historias que hay, de unos cómics y tal. Y sí. Es un personaje,
Is our pet Jupiter, so we're big bunny people. Clone Wars ones are so good. And that includes the Ahsoka, the Kenobi.
Creo que él lo estaba
Force
explicando
Saber,
también, ¿no?
Jar
Se ha
Jar
dicho lo de Bunny
Binks.
People y tal, ¿no? La gente conejo y tal. Creo que lo estaba explicando.
I'm still trying to hold this camera pretty steady for you guys. Yeah, Black Series collection, too good. I love it. And just
La
the way
Black
the strip
Serie,
lights worked. About the
muy
ones
guapo.
that are the individual strips.
Ojito
So you can have
Fenersan,
the better
muy
versus,
guapa.
like, the real long, just solid light ones.
¿Y esta cómo
So
se
that's the
llamaba,
same
tío?
brand I use for everything.
Ah, ¿cómo se
Hendrik
llamaba?
is good.
Es la polla.
Sabine is cool. Moff
Sabine.
Gideon's cool.
Sabine. Sabine.
Highlighting some of these random figures, but and then
Qué guapo,
this is
tío.
the one I'm currently working on, this bottom row
Sí,
here.
sí, se montan
lot of
sus escenarios, se montan
figures more
todo.
recently. Well,
Ojito, Forrest Whitaker, cabrón.
the,
Aquí está Forrest.
Boba Fett's new. Again, I was telling you, I got the short.
So Guerrera, ¿no?
My wife bought me that for my birthday, which I'm
Muy guapo.
Sockum. Dark Trooper is cool. And then what's his name? Saw Gerrera is so sweet.
So Guerrera, sí.
Deluxe prices for these things, nah, debate.
Muy guapo,
Prices
tío.
these. And then second, I think we'd all agree the quality of the figures has been excellent.
Esto de aquí me ha gustado, ¿eh?
Money, but at least we're getting
Esto de aquí me ha
something
gustado.
good.
Como la escena, ya la tienes en la caja, o sea que no tienes ni que sacarlo y está ahí la escena, está la figura y detrás un fondo. No sé, se veía súper guapo, ¿eh?
I got the Snoke on the throne. A few of my favorites.
A ver.
Like what you saw in the. And then
Vale, es como más figuras de Black Series y tal. Son los Kenner, ¿no?
If I find one of these on sale, I'll grab it. I'll probably put them there and open it. It'll be either the
Son los Kenner que le dan ese toque así un poquito más vintage.
doing pretty well. Hey.
Me parece que es este chaval que tenía como unas
And as
escenas.
always, I still got my Yogi Bo beanbag chair. It's actually the Rebel Alliance one. Got the chair and ottoman. So comfortable. Highly recommend it. Anybody's looking
Muy
for
cómodo, full comfy, ¿no? Se lo goza el
Yogi
cabrón.
Bo is an amazing company, and they also sent me for free because I showed them a picture of my collection.
O sea, es AD, ¿no?
Bo beanbag buddy, whatever it's called, but the Ewok one that matches the chair.
Se lo regalaron, o sea, está bien, está
And
bien.
then I have a blanket from Heroes and Villains.
Es cómodo, es cómodo.
Coolest shirts. So that's where I'm chilling a lot of times if we're not sitting at the window. It is
Okay.
the base.
Oh,
So in
okay.
case there's ever an emergency like that. So it's kind of cool. And then I have a spotlight on the wall. 3/4
Lo
figures
típico, las
are
figuras
of
Kenner ahí puestas en la pared, eso está guapo.
hand hook. So that's actually our motion
A ver si va
security system. So it's a little
aquí,
bit
aquí.
kind of my little diorama things, aka
Tiene,
playsets,
ahí está,
vehicles, things like
dioramas, ¿no?
that.
Escenas
So this is
de las
amazing.
películas
There's
hechas
so much
con
packed into this.
los muñecos, ¿no? Las
We'll
figuras.
start right here. So this is actually the Last Jedi Snoke ship playset. It's actually a BB-8 that opens up. And this thing is so cool. So this is basically my sequels diorama. So, and with these, I'm not fully like trying to be super overly movie accurate. If it's from an era, I'm gonna wedge it in there. I mean, the more figures I could display, the better. So, like this, for example, I have Paige. Yes, she did not make it here, but she's in it. I mean, if I'm not using something for a display, it's in storage, and there's no fun in that. So,
Son lo típico, claro. El episodio 8 no te gusta, pero bueno, está guapo.
Just Kylo and Rey back to back. It's so cool. It's so beautifully shot. The colors, absolutely gorgeously looking scene. And then second shelf, got some pilots, both First Order pilots and Poe and Snap. Got Hux, DJ. Next one down, got some troopers. On the bottom row, I just got some of the.
Mira, no la había visto nunca. A ver si lo enseña. No, la ha enseñado antes. Aquí. Este es el personaje de Benicio del Toro, ¿no? Es el personaje de Benicio del Toro. No había visto nunca en figura, tío. La primera vez que lo veo. Ah, esto es de la serie aquella. ¿Cómo se llamaban? Tía, ¿cómo se llamaba esta serie? Resistencia, ¿no? Se llamaban así. Sí, sí, Resistance.
So yeah, absolutely
Resistance.
love that. And then this again, this is kind of one of those placeholder things. It's
full
probably
das
going to
socas.
be the Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett throne room when it comes. But for now, I just got some stands, some risers.
Qué guapa la
some
reina Amidala, cabrón. Está guapísima.
figures on here. Some of my wife and I's favorite characters. So just variations of Luke. All eras of 3 3/4. We got Vader. We got Leia's.
Midalas.
We got Rey's. We got Finn's. We got the little boy Anakin's. The Ahsoka's. Padme's. Yoda's. R2-D2's. So all just holding it down.
Yodas. Full de
And
Yodas.
this one I kind of just made up. I'm so proud of this. I thought it was fun, but it's kind of Anakin's story in a way.
Está guapo.
But, all these again are like original Star Wars pieces.
guapo.
I don't like putting a lot of customs or anything like that or 3D printed stuff. Like everything is literally a Star Wars branded toy. So this is just kind of some random stuff, like that little plastic sand thing was like a 3-pack to some skiff guards or something, or the dancers from Jabba's palace, so the Power of the Force line. So anyway, I used all these things, but it's kind of Anakin's story in a way. You got him meeting Padme. Then they become the best of pals on the droid factory. Then they decide to tie the knot.
Sí, cuando se casan, la escena.
Start to happen.
Joder, hay muñecos de todo,
Ahsoka leaves.
Hay figuras de todo, tío. Cualquier escena, cualquier cosa, está ahí la figura. Aquí está preñada, Mira, Padme preñada, cabrón.
And then we're in the Empire. Becomes Vader. We're in the Empire, but then
Qué curioso, tío.
along, sees himself in him and finds a way to redeem him. And there's Anakin back with Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Claro, yo diciendo quién es ese y es el Anakin original.
Random spots, random stuff, and I had a spot open to use, so I used it. So this next one, we got Boba Fett's
Esto está
Pirate
guapo.
Ship, so the Slave One, and then I have the Shadows of the Empire themed here in Bounty Hunters. So
Esto está guapo.
you were probably
este
too
juego.
young to know the Shadows of the Empire stuff, but amazing book. There's a video game that came out. The toy line was huge. It was like 1996 or so, but I absolutely loved it. It was a big part of my childhood. So anyway, they're hanging out there, dashing
Shadow of Empire.
and they're all trying to get Han and Carbonite because
Qué guapo.
Shadows of the Empire basically took place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So all the bounty hunters are involved. Prince Shizor.
Qué guapo.
And Boba Fett's ship. And then the next one is the Navarro Cantina.
Dice que es de Nevarro, ¿no? La cantina de Nevarro. Puede ser que sea todo esto de Nevarro, ¿no? Esto de aquí y esto, ¿no? La barra y lo que es el escenario. Y ahora tiene el tío puesto al de el amigo de Obi-Wan, del ataque de los clones, ¿no? Que tenía allí un bar, ¿no? En Coruscant. Y ya sí, aquí tiene mezclado de todo. Claro, claro, super random, ¿no? Sí, lo dice.
So Dexter Jetster and
Dexter.
Watto's up there taking orders with his data pad.
Ay.
Dexter's
Este de
trying
aquí.
to serve everybody. Everybody wants their drinks.
Coleguita de Obi-Wan. Claro. Y mira, este es el de Mandalorian. Sí.
Random 3 3/4 figures.
Super random
all
todo.
the lines. They all work so well. Some of the droids, the Pride droid, Balatik and Constable Zuvio are back there creeping. It's the Ahmed Best bar patron figure. It came with a little bar table. Yeah, it just works perfectly. And then I did order the Modal Nodes build-up pack from Hasbro Con.
Está guapo. Es muy random y ha mezclado todo. Y... Está bien. Está curioso, ¿eh?
The Navarro Cantina. And then above this, I have Solo. This is the Vanderheist playset from Target. It was a Target exclusive. I got it heavily on sale. And I was really happy to have the Solo represented. Diorama up here, but Kiro's there.
Curioso este diorama, ¿eh?
Rio's hanging out. Tobias Beckett. And then we got Maul hanging out in the background. So I thought that thing was cool. But yeah, just some dioramas. Everything's lit up. Really happy. And then we have where
No va la
the
Razor
spotlight
Crest,
really
¿eh?
shines to the Razor
Mama.
Crest. Gotta highlight it. So good. The HasLab Razor Crest. This was a team effort for my birthday one year. My wife and her mom put in some money towards it. My ladies powerlifting team that I coach put in some money. So I probably spent maybe $75 to $100 of my own money to finish back in it. So that was a team birthday present a few years ago, and then it finally came, and it did not disappoint. Absolutely gorgeous.
Telita, ¿eh? Telita. Pedazo de Razor Crest, cabrón. Enorme.
And a bunch of troopers. All
Mama.
foreign troopers. And a little R2
Tremendo, tremendo.
Just fit the color schemes. So we got Moff there, and then we got some of the main characters to The Mandalorian. Such good figures, all of these.
Está guapo, está guapo. Tiene ahí a todas.
On the
Bo-Katan.
other side, have a little Jawa.
Con el huevo, ¿no? Este es el huevo.
IG-11. A
El
bunch
huevo.
of Jawas, some R5 units they're trying to sell, and just some random stuff they're trying to pawn off. So that's basically what's going on with my Razor Crest display. And then below that,
Qué guapo.
Tantive V, pretty much exactly how I had it displayed in my old place. Just simple, to the point. It's
Está guapo, ¿eh? De la Tantive.
Almost all Power of the Force figures. So those are all Power of the Force 2. That's actually a Revenge of the Sith Vader. Couple Rogue One Stormtroopers, I think, and then a Power of the Force one. So, again, I just mix it all up. Throw it all in there. It looks good. Toys are great. They don't have to be
Ojo.
the most accurate, most articulate.
Jabba the Hutt, tío, es súper complicado de encontrar, ¿eh? Y luego son muy caros, tío, los Jabba the Hutt. Para encontrar un Jabba the Hutt, las series o algo así, madre mía.
So it's like,
Es imposible, mira que lo he buscado, es imposible.
I mean, they really changed the game for toys and put action figures on the map. Those and G.I. Joes. So, here's my Jabba's playset. Got Ula and Leia. See, Jabba's double dipping here a little bit, and then.
Y ese es de los primeros Jabba, ese es de los 90, ¿no? Cuando salió Retorno del Jedi y todo el rollo que las volvieron a echar en el cine. Creo, ¿eh? O es de antes, ¿no? Es que no lo sé ahora mismo. Sí, tío, el puto Jabba es de antes. Es que no... Este era de los primeros diseños, Creo que antes de que las sacaran, ¿no? Las películas otra vez.
Same shelves, same lighting, hung them all the same. Just looks amazing. And then last but not least, the
Qué guapo,
carbon
tío.
chamber. This thing is awesome, but you just have to doctor it up a little. So I took it off the main poles because they're too tall. I used the smaller poles to stand the back up, and then I just hung the bigger ones. I just stuck them on the shelf like that for like an accent. And then we got the I love you, I know scene going on. Boba.
I love you, I know.
Power of the Force Lando, Buff Billy D, can't go wrong with that. And then got the LED strip lights under it. And then on the side, I kind of just used construction paper just to hide some of the other areas where the lights leaked out, and just makes it look thicker and more dense. So I'm really happy the way that came out, but pretty cool set if you just baby it up a little. You just gotta put some love into it, but the strip lights under it make all the difference. And we got a Bespin Luke and Vader up there. And then next shelf, this is sweet too. This is my Emperor's Throne Room, so we'll call this my Death Star one. And again,
Ojito, ¿eh? Es como si tuviese la Estrella de la Muerte, ha llegado, pero ha mezclado. Ha mezclado aquí al Inquisidor. Ha puesto al director Krennic, unos cuantos imperiales. No sé si este es Tarkin, tiene la pinta, ¿verdad? Se llama Moff Tarkin. Y está guapo porque... Sí, ha llegado. Como el Luke Skywalker, no lo estáis viendo, pero está aquí. El look de Retorno del Jedi. Se ha hecho como una escena un poquito... Easy, ¿no?
So Luke is in there taking on the whole Empire himself.
Un poquito what if. Es esto, ¿no? Un poquito what if.
Use them for a little accent here, and it just works perfectly. And then finally, last one of these. It's my Geonosis Battle Arena.
Ojito, ¿no?
I
Geonosis.
love Attack of the Clones. It's one of my favorite movies, Star Wars movies ever. But with this scene kind of also signifies the beginning of the Clone Wars. So this is a Clone Wars / Attack of the Clones theme. As you'll see, I have some people in here that weren't at the battle. So, but again, I want it to be like this, and the more figures I display, the better.
Me gusta el detalle. ¿Ves lo que te digo? Es como que el tío hace las escenas, pero le cuela también los what if, o cuela lo que él cree que podrían estar, ¿sabes? Es como Grievous. Grievous no sale en la película, pero claro, es el inicio de las guerras clon. Y lo pone aquí como si estuviese, igual que Racine, ¿no? Pero sí. O Ventress, que estaba ahí abajo. Pero como que le da un toquecito él, ¿no?
Little Boba. Dad, Tonwee's here. Little Boba Fett up there.
Little Boba, Little Boba.
And Aura Singh is on the pole. Picking fools off with a... Gave her the noob tube. So they're up there. And then the droids are all coming in through here. I'm trying to keep my shadow out.
Tito Roger.
Battle droids. We do have Dirge. We got Jango Fett and Asajj Ventress. And then they're fighting all Jedi. So I actually don't have any clones in here. Well, Jedi and Padme. So just kind of show off a little bit of who's all in here a little better. But again, this set is so cool. I found a seller on Mercari who sold it for a good price. It was brand new in the box. And he was just pumped that I was
Qué guapa la
Shakti,
Shakti. Está chula.
He was really happy. So I sent him a picture. He was thrilled. But yeah, we do have Ahsoka in here. I wanted Anakin with Padme and Ahsoka.
De verdad, ha puesto aquí a Ahsoka, by the face.
He's out with Jedi. I do need a...
Sí, lo que te digo. Se hace un what if, ¿no?
But yeah. It's my Geonosis Battle Arena, and that is... My displays are random lines.
Guapo.
And again, I love every figure.
¡Ojo! Tiene todos los dioramas, tal. Su barrita de bar.
So I have a small 2-seater bar. When buying a bar, I learned they could be as cheap or as expensive as you want them to be. So I found like the nicest one I could find for the price I was willing to pay. Because as always, buying a house, there's a lot of expenses, including what you pay to actually get in it. So really happy with the bar. It was not the right color. I chose espresso brown, and I like that for everything because it blends pretty well with black. So if you ever can't find something in the espresso brown, chances are there's black. So for example, those shelves are black. Chairs are black. That bench is espresso brown. The table is espresso brown. You can't really tell the difference for the most part. It all fits together.
Está guapo, tío.
I mean, the paint will chip over time, which there it won't because it doesn't.
Madre mía, la de mandos que tiene para las luces LED.
Kind of just a nice little accent piece, but
Ay, mandos que tiene para las luces LED, cabrón.
Two-seater bar. It's perfect for my wife and I when we're hanging out. My Funko Pops are the background of the bar. So I got those from Home Depot.
Tan guapos, ¿eh? Los taburetes. Tan chulos, tío.
They're here. In Van Cleve's Cantina, we do actually have a bar menu.
Su menú, Mustafar Margarita, cabrón.
That's basically either gin and juice or vodka and juice, either way. And they are Imperial credits, so they're 8 credits. Yeah, Mustafar Margarita. That's actually a spicy margarita with jalapeno. It's 10
con jalapeño, pero bueno.
An IPA. We got the spiced Rhodian rum, which is basically like a, rum and coke or rum and ginger ale drink.
Max Rebo.
Yeah, aged Wookiee whiskey, which is basically whiskey on the rocks.
Wookiee whiskey.
Jack.
Good fun.
Food
and Sabak.
Baby. Tuesdays are Twilight Night. Saturdays we got the Max Rebo band.
El sábado, actúa Max Rebo, Ok.
I just like being sits perfectly
Se
there.
la ha currado. Está guapo.
We got some of my Gentle Giant busts here. And then just some bar stuff. So got some stir sticks.
Servilleta.
A couple shot glasses under there. It's actually a Salacious Crumb and a R2-D2, some Star Wars napkins. I need to figure out a solution for all these individual strip light remotes. That's one thing I got to figure out. Then we got a Porg up there. And then my coasters. I actually have these Battle of Hoth coasters that are so cool. It's a set of 4. And they literally make up one picture. So a couple other ones are on the card table. But if you put them together in a square, they fit the same picture. But those are sweet. They're glass. And then up here, it's actually our gas turned off in that box, but put a couple 11x17 posters. Kenobi
Guapo esos cuadros,
Solo. I think to this point, Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars show that they have done in the modern era. Loved
Bueno,
every second.
de Mandalorian, cabrón.
Thought it was so good, so needed.
De Mandalorian. Y después ya Obi-Wan, ¿no?
My Pez dispensers, and then we got what the bar is stocked with. So we got, got some gin, some spiced rum, some whiskey, tequila, and some vodka.
Be careful, ¿no?
And we got this little light up stand that.
Be careful, Te pones púo. Te vas a poner piripi, cabrón.
Boba Fett. Some of the bigger Funko pieces, the movie moments, stuff like that. Yoda getting the ship out of the water on Empire. That's still my
Sí, estos son los Funkos que hay con escenas, tío. Yo tengo por aquí
on
uno.
a personal level, and I just loved it. So anyway, I love that so much. And that John Williams music kicks in, you're just like, ugh. It's just like humbled, floored.
Ojo. Se ilumina, le pones pilas y tal y se ilumina.
That's where the booze hangs out. And then actually under the bar, my wife and I are big board game people. We just love hanging out. We really are too.
Juegos de mesa, qué guapo.
There, different ways to hook and bartend.
A ver. Está chulo, tío. ¿Verdad? Está guapo, está guapo. Lo que pasa es eso, es como que lo veis todo muy amontonado, ¿sabes? Los típicos dispensadores estos de caramelitos y tal. Está guapo. Son nuevos, ¿no? Sí, son nuevos. Ojo, las fiambreras, que es lo que he enseñado antes también. Su váter, cabrón.
I got them on May the 4th one year for sale. And then a Dio, and then all my Funko Pops. So I got some.
Los Funkos, a mí es que los Funkos no me hacen mucha gracia. No soy muy de Funkos. Está bien y tal, pero no tan chulo para tener alguno. Pero no me hacen mucha gracia.
Like, got a wall clock. It's actually made on a vinyl record, which I thought was cool. And it's got the old school Star Wars logo with Vader on it. Matilda actually got me these. These are the special edition droid stamps. So a bunch of postage stamps I thought were cool. And then under them I got the like the prototype figures.
Como multicolor. Okay.
Space for one more down there. Again, it's our bathroom in there.
Ojito su baño, ¿no?
Not fully Star Wars themed.
El cagadero.
A probe droid there.
El droide sonda, ahí está, el droide víbora.
Retro poster I thought was sweet. Mounted on there. And similar style on the other one. This other door, this is our washer. Our washer and dryer is actually in here.
¡Ojo!
Same idea.
Ojito, utilizando el espacio, cabrón. Hay que lavar la ropa, pues en la sala de Star Wars.
Her show poster, rather.
Y aquí, Bo-Katan, la remesa mala. La última temporada, ¿no? De Clone Wars. Está guapo.
Using door spaces again. Command's playing games.
Está chulo,
actually have
está
a bench
chulo.
back here, which I have some stuff stored under it. So these Tupperwares have like my 3 3/4 figures that are not being used. So if I didn't wedge something into a diorama, they're down there. A couple stuffed animals, some other stuff under there. But anyway.
Ah, que tiene los Tupperware, ¿no? Tiene las cajitas de plástico y tiene ahí guardadas las cosas, ¿no? Dentro. Está guay. Está bien.
We'll play board games down here, eat. Centerpiece, it's actually the Lego.
El halcón de Lego, otro posavasos. Luego tiene las consolas ahí, no sé si... ¿Qué tenía ahí? ¿La Sega Saturn?
Anybody ever is in our nation's capital?
¿Cosa que es la Mega Drive?
My wife and I will talk Star Wars, look at some toys, have a few drinks, and play some games. We're fun people.
Mega Drive.
And then over here I have my Power of the Force 2 boxed ones. I kept the red cards in the box. This was kind of my childhood line. I mean, I was already into Star Wars and bought Star Wars toys before this, like the original Kenner ones. The first Star Wars toy I actually ever got was the 12-inch or the jumbo size C-3PO, and it had a foot that was broke off it. So I had a broken foot C-3PO. That was the first toy I ever got, and I played with it so much. But anyway, these were the first like new things to come out when I was a kid.
Es que no veas en los 90, cómo estaban todas las figuras ahí y todo el rollo,
So basically the red cards were a
guapo,
little
tío.
more exclusive than the standard green card ones.
Sí, las verdes esas sobre todo, Pero la nueva línea que sacaron y todo el rollo.
Kid, the Theater Luke. When they re-released the original trilogy special editions.
Luego sacaron también que había como con un microchip, ¿sabes? Y ponías al muñeco y no sé, tenías que tener otra cosa y se escuchaban algunas frases de la película, algo así.
Got my Padme picture. That is
Nunca lo tuve.
From Etsy.
Qué guapo.
Love Natalie Portman. Love Padme. And then we got Vader. Felt like I had to have the Padme with this Vader. So this was the celebration that did not be because of COVID, but this was the 2020 celebration post.
Lo suyo sería un marco más como el de Padme, ¿no? Sin que se vea lo blanco, ¿no?
So I had that framed, and I was like, I got to get a Padme picture to go with Vader. So after a lot of deliberating, I ended up going with that. And then I have a Luke figure in the box. I feel like a Leia figure in the box would go well under the proud mom and dad. Then over here, I got my Hot Toys.
Hot Toy?
I currently only have 2.
Hot Toys.
I will get 1, maybe 2 more over time, but I want to keep with the female theme. Very big pro-fem guy, but 2 of my favorite characters ever, Rey and Ahsoka. Both these figures are just amazing. Look at these things. Absolutely incredible.
Qué guapo.
And look at these. Look at his face. They're just great. So those are my Hot Toys. One of them in a special spot because they're so sweet looking. And then basically they're over the TV stand. This is actually the last part of this. So if you're still watching this video, major props. So I got, it's good to have a 24-inch. I don't know exactly.
Y Lego es una fumada, tío. Mucho dinero.
And then we got my Legos and my game consoles down here. So
es un fumado.
That poster is actually a May the 4th giveaway one year. And just kind of scan through some of these Legos.
A ver si tengo la posibilidad de pillar algo de Lego y lo hacemos, tío, en directo. A ver si duro, Boba Fett sí lo terminé en directo, Darth Vader no.
Good times.
Qué guapa, tía, la vaina. Muy guapo. Pues bueno, a ver.
I can probably say they're all in complete tact. Which is great.
Está guapa.
So yeah, those are my Legos, and then I got my books.
Los libros.
And then we'll talk about the game consoles and the TV stand area. Okay, got more LED lights behind it. Switch. There's a 360, but it's not actually hooked up. But got our Xboxes and a Switch over there. On this other side, we actually have an N64 and a Sega Genesis. Everything works. Everything's hooked up.
Sega Genesis, la Mega Drive. Mario Tennis.
Vintage games are brutal. Like, they were so hard back in the day. And a lot of them you can't save, or it's just, it was crazy. So there's some tough stuff. And then those little drawer things under there, they're basically just with game cartridges. So and a lot of video games are in there, controllers, stuff like that.
Qué guapo. Está chulo también, ¿eh? La habitación de este tío también está muy, muy guapa. Muy guapa.
Our stamp on Earth. That's why we're here.
Súper guapo.
Make it a better place while you're around. And do make sure you stop into Van Cleef's Cantina for a Mustafar margarita. Or maybe some spiced Jordan rum or
una margarita de Mustafar. Pues nada, señores, de verdad. Hasta aquí. Aquí lo voy a dejar. Antes de reventarme. May the force be with you. Antes de reventarme, lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Y ya nos vemos el martes. El martes nos vemos. Así que... Pues nada, gente. Feliz finde. Que lo paséis bien. Y nos vemos el martes. Seguro que ya estaré de puta madre de la espalda, así que de lujo. Nos vemos, gente. Adiós.